And we're in.
Hello! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this, our sixth, possibly seventh episode of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, our D&D 5e live play stream. Or other words like that in some order. Thank you for joining us again. We appreciate you very much. And before we get any further, we would like to say a very quick thank you to Rooney Runes, who is our 100th follower on Twitch.
Yeah!
We have made 100!
It's kind of crazy exciting for those of us who have no idea that they were going to enjoy streaming this much.
The fame and the fame.
I know, a whole 100 people. So thank you for that. Anyway, like I said, thank you for joining us again tonight. It is lovely to see all our friends in the chat. My name is Wayne Fick. I will be your DM this evening, playing a range of odd characters, particularly odd in this game. And with me is my lovely regular cast, who I would like to ask to introduce themselves and their characters. And let us start with the young Chris Mepham today.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Mepham. I am an illustrator, an all-round geek. I DM the other stream that we do on Sunday. You generally find me bumming around the internet helping people with general D&D nerdy stuff. And my pronouns are he, him, and today I should be playing Neragwin, the Awakened Cat Cleric, also he, him.
Thank you very much. And let's go over to the glorious Charlie with an eye, Vince.
Thank you. Hi, I am Charlie with an eye, Vince. My pronouns are she, her. I am also an illustrator. I illustrate strange stories and characters. And I am also a big nerd, and I am playing Mona, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Thank you. And last but never ever least, the internet famous and terribly dashing Theo Blue.
True.
Hello, I'm Theo. Sorry, I got distracted because I realised we were in the wrong boxes, but Chris has just done the internet magic.
It was just the fame. The fame was so distracting.
I'm Theo. I am an illustrator. I use they, them pronouns, and this evening I will be playing the lovely gentle giant Firbolg Asta.
Thank you very much. Just a quick reminder before we kick off. We will be back in 2 weeks with the next episode of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We had 2 in a row because we were catching up on ourselves, but we will be back in 2 weeks. So please mark that on your calendars because obviously you wouldn't want to miss that. And we are back on Sunday with the next episode of Some Other Heroes. So just a quick reminder before we kick off. So if everyone is sitting comfortably, we shall begin. So when last we left our travelling trio, as they traverse the Feywild, they had fought some mud mephits, which had attempted to drag them into the mud. And despite a series of atrocious rolls all round, they did manage to survive their encounter with the mud mephits. And through some very clever use of some rain spells by Asta, we left our adventurers as they were brushing themselves off, looking a little muddy and bedraggled, but having got some information and some idea of which direction to head in towards what they had been told was a place called Downfall. Which is where the hag Bavlorna, they believe, can be found. They had also heard of the Soggy Court, which is apparently where the Bullywogs appear to have set up some kind of settlement where their delusions of grandeur are entertained by themselves. And so our adventurers were going to head towards the Soggy Court and Downfall to see if they could find out what was going on and possibly encounter the hideous hag Bavlorna that they have heard so much about. So, as we get together with you guys in the Feywild, you have just come out from your encounter. You're a little bedraggled. You were having a fairly decent day traveling, but you are feeling a little worse for wear and a little mud covered. But you do know which direction you should be going in, and so you begin your journey towards Downfall. The weather is as it has been, virtually unchanged. The twilight hangs in the sky, and it's that space, that odd space between times, between night and day. And surrounding you are the now familiar sounds of the frogs, the crickets, and the bubbling of the swampy morass around you. So we're going to begin tonight with one of the fantastic survival rolls by everybody, please.
Oh no.
Dice, yes, that would help.
Oh, I dropped my dice.
That's
Great.
small.
There we go, guys.
Great
That's where we're
start.
coming from tonight. I don't have my dice out, and Theo's dropping them everywhere.
Special edition D&D. We're going to use dice.
Yes, this evening we should be dicing.
I got a fucking nat 20. No one could see what that was, but
I was going to
You've
say,
got a blurry dice.
I got a natural 20, she says, picking it up, moving it, and showing us the 20. Obviously, that is proof enough that it rolled on.
I got excited.
I got a 23 in total for me.
Blimey. And
I got a
Esther?
dirty
22
20.
Good
Damn!
lord. Well, getting to grips with the terrain now, the three of you are starting to recognize where you, what it looks like when there is mud that you suspect could be a little dangerous to step into. Mud that you have seen swallowing pieces of log, small creatures just basically subsiding into this mud that looks a little more like quicksand than mud. But you've started to see what that looks like, and as you sort of make your way through, clambering over the rotting logs and the vegetation, you manage to navigate quite deftly, avoiding any spots like that, and you are making, although slow, at least safe passage towards your ultimate goal. Yes, with Nerrigan constantly swatting mud off his paws. Once again, as you've come to know now, the water level as you progress during the day starts to rise and subside in regular intervals, sometimes getting to the point where you have to take shelter for a little while on, raised pieces of wood and vegetation because the water gets to 5 feet deep in some places, making it virtually impossible for you to traverse unless you actually wanted to swim, which is not advisable with a cat. Most cats, anyway.
Not in knitwear as well.
And in Mona's knitwear, that is a very good point. That would not be pleasant at all.
Asta just dives straight in, I'm guessing.
Only after he's made everyone carrying him like that. And when you put him down, he just swims away. Thanks. That sounds cat-like, right? So as the water has got to kind of one of its low points, you guys are trudging through the mud, and literally right in front of you as you walk forward, coming out of the mist, you see a stone well. And you guys have seen these around as you've sort of traveled, and they are what used to be the centers. I believe that it was Talabar, perhaps, who told you that they were places where people used to gather these wells in the before times, before Bavlorna. But now, these seem to be the source of the rising and subsiding waters. And ahead of you, you see one of these wells. It's now low water level, so it is not quite dry land, but there is land around the well. And there is no water coming out of it at the moment. Would you like to get closer, or would you like to avoid it?
I think
let's go and
Mona
have a
wants to
look.
get closer.
Cool. As you walk forward, you can see that the well is made from stones that have been built together. It looks old. It looks like even the stonework looks old, not just because it's covered in slime and mud and pieces of vegetation, but it looks like it has been there for a long, long time. Very solid, very huge. Big stones that moved there. And it does look indeed like it could have been somewhere that a lot of people gathered around, the center of, of social activity once upon a time, because there is a clearing around it before the vegetation starts. I think, yeah?
So this is where the water is supposed to be coming from, is it not? Because of what Pavlova did.
Yes, that's what was said.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there doesn't seem to be much water coming out of it right now.
Well, maybe it's everywhere else already. I mean, this place is damp in general.
Everywhere is damp.
But it might be worth...
Not a patio in sight, to quote Mona from last episode.
I forgot about that!
Yeah, people do often say that about the Feywild. Not enough patios.
Not a patio in sight.
1 star, not enough patios.
Yes. Well, I don't know if we have time, but maybe it's worth watching to see if they still flow up, or the water's still coming from these wells.
We should at least have a good look at
Can
it.
I have a look inside? Like, look down?
same.
Like, what? Do we see anything?
Sure. Roll me a perception roll.
Now we get that good shot from inside the well where we peer over it.
All three.
23.
A 23? Blimey.
Nice.
Um,
Hang on 1 second.
I'm not going to get that good.
I got a dirty 20.
Wow.
I got a 9.
Cool. Mona, you look down, but to be honest, it's a bit
a well.
slimy around the end of it, so you're kind of letting the others take the lead on this. Neragrin and Asta, with those rolls, you can see quite far down, and the one thing you notice is that the sides of the well are coated in what looks like the mud that you see all around you. It looks, particularly with those high rolls, it looks like it's not water that comes up out of these wells, but sludge. Which starts to make sense, because as you've seen the water rising, or the levels rising and lowering as you've traveled, it's not necessarily clear water, it is mud and sludge. And it just looks like these wells pump mud and sludge up and then just subside again.
Can you... Sorry, Wayne. Asta definitely got a better roll than I did, but with my enhanced dark vision, can I see further down, maybe, and point things out
Yeah.
to him?
Well, you can both see, fairly far down. I mean, I think, Neragrin, you would be able to see further, but all you can see is just the darkness that this well drops into, and the remains of sludge that's slowly sliding down the inside walls now that everything has kind of subsided. There's lots of pieces of vegetation, there's twigs and branches and stuff, but it looks like that's clearly just the remains as it's been pulled back into this well. Neragrin, what you do notice, as you look down there, you see what looks like little lights.
Oh.
And they appear to be getting closer to you as they come up. They just seem to be lights. It doesn't look like there's a creature or anything like that, particularly with your rolls. But you can see that they are slowly getting closer to you.
Quickly, kill him, Neragrin. Quickly. Catch him, Derry.
You told me to stop killing things, so I didn't
Oh,
pack any
that was not in
offensive spells.
character.
You said kill bad, so I stopped killing. I can make it glow if you like.
Well, I think it's already glowing,
Mona
isn't it?
has no idea what's going on.
You can make the glowing lights glow.
I
I
can.
mean, that's not much of a trick, to be honest.
I don't think that's necessary, is it?
Exactly. If you're particularly worried about them, I can protect you a little bit.
Well, what
She
do you
has
think they
no
are?
idea what you guys are looking at.
Oh,
She's-
there's some drifting lights coming up. Can you not see them? You should be able to there.
Oh, no, I was busy checking for leeches. Oh yes, now that you mention it. What are
How close to us are they? Like, can I reach out and touch one?
Not yet, but you will be able to shortly, because they are definitely just on a continuous kind of rise up the well towards you.
they don't seem like they're bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's
Just give them
we
some
were
space.
literally just attacked by imps covered in mud that we didn't see. So
Maybe let's just like move back and wait. Maybe hide and wait, see if they come out. and we
Hide
can see
from
what
some
they are.
lights.
We don't know. This place is so weird.
we have not exactly had the best time here since we left.
I know, but if we're going to hide from everything weird we see in the Feywild, we're not going to get very far.
All right. Well, we're not saying hide. We're saying take a few steps backwards.
While you are having this discussion, the lights reach the top of the well, and
Oh, dear.
they literally appear before the three of you, just hovering at the top of this well.
Can I try and get, touch one?
You can. You reach
Ah.
and try and touch one, and it instantly avoids your grasp.
And
Well, I mean,
hello?
that's fair enough, I suppose.
Mona, as you say hello, you hear from the three of them these kind of whispered, almost haunting voices, and you hear the words coming from these three, and they say, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?"
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Hello, I'm Master.
Oh,
This here's Nergwin. That's Mona.
Hello. We don't mean you any harm.
Who are you?
Why are you here? Are you here? Are you here?
well, your well is quite a landmark, you know.
Hmm.
It's easy to find compared to a lot of other things, so we're just travelling through and we were curious. I hope that's
Who do you obey? Who do you obey? Who do you obey?
You've not met any cats, have you?
No one at the moment. Can't guarantee if I'm still employed, so I'm gonna say no one.
That's a good point. The lights hover for a while, and then they just repeat again. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here?
More interestingly, why are you here?
Why were you in the well? You look very pretty, and the well is very sludgy.
This is where we died. We died. We died.
Oh no!
Oh no. It seems that I am sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss. Is there anything we can do to help you pass over?
As soon as you say that, the voices come even more loudly and just very, very clear to all three of you. And the voices say, "Avenge us, avenge us, avenge, 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 avenge us."
I'm sorry, we're not the Avengers. You've got us confused with someone else.
At which point you hear the voice
I'm
say,
leaving. We're gonna
"Sorry,
get sued.
sorry, it's our
Sued by
accents."
Disney.
I mean, we can certainly look into that. Who who's responsible for your passing?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
We have heard. We have heard very bad things.
Yes.
That is actually why we're here. We're on our way to go sort her out, so to speak.
As soon as Esther says that, they almost seem to glow brighter, and they kind of spin, just the three of them, for a moment before settling down again.
That was beautiful.
And they seem almost sort of like they're moving quicker and are a little brighter as soon as Esther says that.
Oh, is this is that? Did that please you? Was that a good thing?
The voices come back again, and all they say is, "We cannot leave, cannot go far, cannot leave here." And then they wait.
Is there anything you can tell us about Bavlona that would be useful or help us in stopping her? Anything?
Yeah, she got like a weak ankle, some kind of
replacement hip,
weak spot.
Diabetes.
Gluten allergy.
Yeah.
The lights seem to hover and they kind of move quicker. Chris, I think if you can turn your mic up a little bit, I think we're a little quiet on yours. So as you as they float around after you've asked them if there's anything that they can tell you, anything they can do to help, one of them very quickly moves right in front of Esther, right in front of Esther's face. And it glows brighter. And Esther, you feel a warmth that kind of washes over you. And you are well acquainted enough to know that there is something magical about what just happened to you. And then the other two very quickly move towards Neragwin and towards Mona, and the same thing happens. They glow brighter, and there is a feeling of warmth over you. And then they very quickly just zip the three of them to the top of the well again. And all you hear is one word that comes over and over from them as they start to descend back into the well. And you just hear the word, blessing, 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 blessing. And they are gone.
Well,
thank you.
So the three of you...
Next time. Thank you.
I don't think that the dead have consent ideas, but the three of you have a magic boon from them.
Nice. What's that?
You gain a D4, which you can at any time within the next 24 hours roll and add to the number rolled to an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw.
# temporary blessed.
Correct. Hashtag blessed for today.
So, ability check, attack roll, and
saving throw
Correct.
as well?
Saving throw, attack roll, or ability check. All three.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And with that, they subside back into the well, and they are gone.
Well,
Well, that went better than I thought it was going to.
yes,
Oh yeah, they were quite nice actually.
they were very nice.
Bit
I
creepy,
don't like
but-
the fact that they were dead. That was a
Well, I
bit
don't think they'd like that either.
I mean,
No.
nobody wants to be dead. I mean,
No.
quite actively against the whole idea. I mean, even those of us with multiple lives.
Oh, yes.
So
I mean, well, now I guess we have another reason to find Pavlova.
Yes.
Bavlorna. We're not looking for dessert.
Yes.
Although that would be nice, I wouldn't object.
Also, I could hear Asta say the word Bavlorna like 100 times and be content. Bavlorna.
I don't know if we'll find Pavlova in a place called the Soggy Court.
No.
Maybe cheesecake. I don't know, something a little wetter.
Sticky toffee pudding, that's quite soggy.
That is quite
that
soft.
sounds...
Probably find custard, although after your last experience
Ah.
with custard, maybe not.
No, I'm up for finding that. Right. Let's go. Keep moving to find desserts and hag.
Hag and desserts. Desserts before hag.
We found the title of the episode.
Desserts before hags. Yes. As you guys progress, with the water having subsided, you are making what is good time for you, but it's still considered difficult terrain, and it's still slow going. You've kind of got used to the squelching through the mud by now, having been here a few days, but it is by no means pleasant. But you make fairly good movements, and you're getting a good kind of a good walk on as you head towards what you think is the right direction. Can I know what is your passive perceptions, please, everybody?
I'd like you to roll for that, please.
Sorry if you can hear weird noises, by the way. Lola is sleepwalking right now. So.
Oh, bless her.
Mine is 15.
Twinsies.
14.
Cool. So, Asta, are you carrying Neragwin still, or what? How are you guys traveling?
Probably, yeah. I think
Unless
Mona's
I
had
think
enough.
he's muddy now and fed up in general, but I think he's on his feet unless it gets too deep in the water for him.
Fair enough. So as you guys are walking, I think Asta and Neragwin in that case, you notice that the warm mud, the kind of lukewarm mud that you guys have been trudging through for hours, you suddenly start to notice that it starts to feel not just a little easier to move through, but you feel a kind of, it's cooler. It's cooler around your feet. And within a couple of seconds, you notice that there is, in fact, what appears to be clear water. Almost probably what you guess would have been a stream had, all of this mud subsided properly, and perhaps that's what was here before. And there is a stream, but for some reason, it doesn't seem to be getting diluted by the mud, and it's actually just a clear stream of water streaming from the north, which is the direction you're heading in. And yeah, you can see that there is, in fact, clear water and a stream running here.
Oh.
Well, at least you can wash your paws here.
And Neragin will actually go in up to his shoulders and wash off all the mud and come out and shake vigorously.
Ah!
Okay. Neragin, roll me a d8, please.
Oh, that was probably a bad idea, wasn't it?
Oh, God.
I actually rolled
And
an
if
8.
you got...
An 8?
Yeah.
As you are in the water washing your paws, you kind of glance, and because the water is sort of fairly gentle as the stream flows, you kind of glance down, and the first thing you notice is the beautiful reflection of your glorious mane, which, although a little splashed with mud, is looking as fine as ever. And very quickly, as you glance at your reflection, it changes, and what you see appears to be the reflection of something else. And what you see is rows of wooden stakes with bullywog heads, severed heads upon the top of them.
Oh, no.
What?
That's in the reflection. That's not just suddenly there.
No, that's in the reflection in the water.
What? What happened? You okay?
The other thing you notice about this vision that you're seeing in the water is that the bullywug heads appear to be talking.
Oh no, that's even worse. Asta, Mona, look over my shoulder for a second. Just see if you can see what I can see.
Okay.
I need you guys both to roll a d8 for me, please.
Well, from that, I hope I get a 1. Okay, no.
5.
6.
Cool. Asta, you walk over and kind of glance over Neragwin into the water, and again, the first thing you see is your face, and then as the water moves, it's almost like your reflection washes away, and what you see is a satyr whistling to himself as he is reclining in a huge metal cage that appears to be hanging off of a kind of wooden boom over a body of water. And he just seems to be stuck in the metal cage, has his feet up against the bars, and is whistling. Mona, what did you roll?
6.
Mona, you look over and a very similar thing happens. You have a look at the stream and you can see your reflection for a moment. And just before you're about to say, I see nothing, it kind of washes away in the movement of the water. And what you see is what looks like the inside of a very drab, sort of uninspired old kitchen. And there is a short, very mean-looking old woman wearing a crimson cap, an apron, and big boots on, moving around the kitchen. And you see her, it's not Miriam, and you see her grab a cleaver and start chopping through some big chunks of meat. And just like that, all three of you, while looking, the stream moves on and the visions are gone.
Oh.
So, please tell me you saw something completely horrible in that. I certainly did not like what I saw.
What did you
Why,
see?
what did you see?
I saw 7 bullywug heads on stakes all along the stream, talking to one another still.
What?
Oh no, that's not what I saw.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. Asta, what did you see?
I saw this satyr-looking fella in a cage.
A satyr? I saw an angry woman in the kitchen chopping up big bits of meat. Deeply unsettling. What kind of stream is this?
Well, clearly
Well, I'd say it
enchanted.
was a magical one, yeah. Maybe we should get out of it.
I'm not touching that. No.
Don't drink it! Are you mad?
What's in your mouth? Drop it.
Drop it, put it down.
Also, how do I drop it?
Try.
I think that just inclines Nerikuin to kind of go,
No. Bad. No.
you keep saying that like I'm going to respond in the right way. I'm not a dog.
I'm going to try anyway.
How wide is this stream?
The stream is like 5 foot. It's not very
Okay.
wide at all. Which is why when you were walking sort of further away from it, it's not like you could see it from very far. It was only once you got closer and you could feel that there was something there that you could notice that.
Are we trying to cross it, or is it in the direction we're going in? Anyway?
It's in the direction you're going in, so you don't have to cross it, but you could easily jump across it. It doesn't look like it's difficult to traverse, and it just heads sort of roughly in the direction you're going in towards the north.
Well, I guess we're stuck with the stream for a little while.
Just don't look at it. Just walk like this. No.
Or keep an eye on it, just in case.
No.
I don't
Well,
trust
you can do
your
that. I'm not
stream.
gonna look at it. No. Okay.
So if you guys are moving on, you carry on walking basically alongside the stream, and it kind of meanders slightly away from you. But you can see that now that you have spotted it, you can actually see it as you get a little bit further away. You can see that there is this kind of line almost of clear water in amongst the mud. I need you all please to roll me another survival check, please.
Okay, good.
Had to roll out of good rolls eventually. 8.
Oh no.
Too busy watching this suspicious stream.
Mona,
Day 20.
Esther.
15. 15.
Cool. So as you are sort of making your way now, especially with the water having subsided a little, your confidence is growing and you're treading along. Asta's confidence is growing a little. Neragwin's confidence is as huge as Neragwin's confidence always is. And what order are you walking in?
I think Asta's probably first.
Okay. And then I'm assuming Neragwin is on one of our shoulders or something? Or is Neragwin feeling brave now?
Neragwin is walking along the stream, keeping an eye on it. That's probably why.
Okay, well, I'll walk behind Neragwin then, because I don't trust Neragwin to not start just downing water from this stream.
So as you're walking along, Mona keeping an eye on it, Asta is striding ahead in his own world. Strange for Asta, I know, but in his own world, kind of looking around, just kind of treading forward. Mona, with you being behind Neragwin, there is a moment where you have to kind of double take because Neragwin very suddenly disappears beneath the mud.
Ah! Can I react by trying to grab Neragwin, please?
You can. Roll me a dexterity roll, please.
Okay. I am not very dexterous.
I'll
12.
go and get my spare character ready.
A 12. With the 12, you manage to grab Neragwin by the scruff of his neck, and you can feel that he is kind of being tugged. It's like something else is also sort of pulling him under. Neragwin, you are restrained.
I would like to cast Toll the Dead at whatever is holding on to me.
Me!
Sure.
Not
Toll the
you,
Dead.
whatever's trying to tug me down.
Yes, Mona. Yeah, that's it. You may cast Toll the Dead.
May I have I think it's a wisdom saving throw? Yes.
I think whilst you're casting this, I am yelling at Asta that something has got Neragwin.
There is no roll to be made because you have stepped into quicksand.
Oh.
Ah! Kill that sound.
So you can try and pull yourself loose, or one of your companions can.
Well, I'm definitely trying to haul Neragwin out.
Okay.
I will try and wriggle free to make it easier for her.
Okay.
Not sure how you should be doing in a quicksand, but
not really, but you can try. Right. Mona, what was that last roll you made?
I think it was a 12. Yeah, 12.
It was a 12.
Dexterity.
Oh no, you're not going to fall in there too, are you?
No, Mona managed to grab Neragwin by the neck with that roll.
Okay.
But Neragwin, you feel Mona sort of grab you, but you can feel this force trying to pull you down. This is not the litter box, says Fran. And Neragwin, you start to feel like you're being kind of pressured and pulled under. And you take 2 points of force damage.
Ooh.
As the struggle between Mona holding you and this quicksand pulling you down starts to really hurt. And it's grabbing on your fur, almost getting what feels like more traction because of your fur.
Can I shove another hand in and try and
you can. Esther, what would you like to do first?
Mona shouted to me, yeah?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, yeah, then I would rush back and help. I'll grab Mona, and then Mona's grabbing.
Okay, in that case, Asta, roll me a strength check to pull Mona backwards.
Natural 20.
No way.
Oh!
Plus 2.
Sarah?
Hell yeah.
22. Nerrigan, you are completely oblivious to what's happening. All you know is that you're being pulled what feels like in two directions at once, and it's starting to hurt.
Nerrigan is hissing and twisting and just panicking like a cat would under those circumstances.
Your hiss is muffled by mud that is now in your mouth, and you are starting to properly panic. Mona, after you yell for Asta, you feel Asta grab you around the waist and pull you backwards. And almost instantly, you both fall backwards with Nerwin right on top of you, covered in mud. Scratching and clawing and hissing and in full panic.
And
It's us.
Wriggle free and run up the nearest log or tree or stump or anything.
There are trees and kind of mangrove trees nearby and other trees that are still there, which are a little slimy, but with your claws and stuff, you would certainly be able to do that.
He's just sitting hissing for a second. It's almost like his sentient self has been pushed all the way down.
What
I think Mona points her sword at the bit that Nerrigan disappeared into, because I don't know it's quicksand.
It literally, now that Nerrigan is out of it, it just looks like mud. It looks like mud that you have been trudging through the whole time.
Oh, I'm gonna say we don't walk on that bit. Nerrigan, are you okay?
Yeah.
Kind of takes a few moments. He's just panting and kind of like his mouth is open. He's doing that. Wayne knows this very well.
Oh yeah,
it's what our little boy does when he panics about things. It's like, and then he just sits for a second and then slowly comes back to himself. I don't like this place.
No. Are you hurt? Are you all right?
Fortunately, there was still a residue of protection from Asta earlier, so I'm okay.
Okay.
I will admit that my pride is definitely injured, and I hate this place. Balls up properly on the tree.
Oh,
having a proper sulk.
Come on now, friend. You can just you ride on my shoulder for a bit, and then you'll be alright.
Maybe stay off the ground for a while.
Nerrigan is covered in mud.
Asta doesn't care.
If anyone's not going to care, it will be Asta.
Asta, yeah.
Just slowly climb down the tree and onto Asta. And then as we walk, I will try and wash off as much of the mud as I possibly can.
I feel like I'll hand Nerrigan like a little cloth hanky to be like, this might help. She was tempted to do the mum thing, where she was like, come in. But now knowing Nerrigan for a while, fully expecting to get clawed to death. So
fair enough. Cool. You guys press on, and
I sort of walk around the bit to stop anyone walking near it, to be like a proper. I'm in like mum mode. Like, don't come near it. Go around. Thank you.
The next few hours are spent kind of walking in the direction that you need to go, a little more carefully than you were, perhaps paying a little more attention to sort of areas that look in any way whatsoever like
I'm
they
like
might
poking
be.
bits with my sword as we go.
Yeah. I can totally see that. But you continue for a couple of hours. And Nerrigan, you manage to shake off and clean off and eventually kind of scratch off a lot of the mud as it dries, riding on the back of Asta's shoulders.
It's these occasional moments where he kind of misses his washing. He's washing the back of Asta's ear instead.
Oh,
Your tongue is so sandpapery.
Your ear is so furry.
stop being gross! I say behind me.
But you guys make progress, albeit slow. And you spend, what's left of the day mostly walking through the mud and making what you think is good time in the direction that you're going in. Nothing else happens. It's fairly uneventful for the rest of the day. And it starts to get a little sort of get to that point of day where you're getting hungry and you're getting tired. And it's a good part of the day for you guys to kind of stop and have a rest. And you kind of get to that point where you feel like you may need to have a rest. And just while you're thinking about that, all three of you in the distance, you hear what sounds like a lot of people approaching. Not a lot of noise from the people themselves, but it sounds like footfall. It sounds like a lot of people walking. And because of the fog around you and the haze that's always in this area, you can't see. But coming from a direction that's kind of loosely towards the east, you can hear the footfall of what sounds like a lot of feet walking.
How many is a lot? Are we talking tens or like?
It's hard to tell. It sounds like it's just that squelching of footfall, but it sounds like a lot.
Do we hide or do we stand and greet them?
I think we hide.
Oh. Okay. Yes.
No?
Yes. Yes.
If it's those rabbits again.
Well, we've got you. We'll be fine.
No, I don't have that spell today. I keep telling you.
Right. Let's
Oh! Is there somewhere we can? Is there other like bushes we can just hide behind?
Roll me a perception check.
Can I help?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage, or you both roll.
I'll roll with advantage. That's better. That's 18.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because of how hazy everything is, but you I mean there is so much sort of detritus and fallen logs and broken trees and things that appear to be left here from the water subsiding that there is definitely places that you could hide, even with the two of you being quite large. So would you like to hide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we tell how close they are? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting closer, but like I said, because of the lack of visibility in the area, you can't really tell exactly how far. And because it's such a sort of massive footprints, it's very hard to tell. But you know it's definitely getting closer.
Yeah, I think we just duck behind these bushes and see what we can see, and then we can decide after.
I think that's
I agree.
wise. I mean, things are rarely what they seem here.
Right. And it sounds like a lot more than us, so...
Yes, good idea.
Cool. So the three of you hide behind some fallen logs where there is clearly loads of bits and pieces of, wood and other things that have been washed by the mud have kind of gathered there, almost like a barricade, and you hide behind that. And you hear the kind of the footfall getting closer, and you know it's coming in your direction. Doesn't seem like there's an urgency, but it's definitely coming closer. And just as you start to see what looks like almost a shadow or a shape that's coming through the fog as it's getting closer to you, and you're expecting to see this group of people, the first thing you notice is that what you see, all you can see is the outline of what looks like a house. And a few seconds later, from out of the fog as it gets closer to you, emerges what looks like a moving house. The bottom of the house, as it gets closer to you, is what's making the noise. And you see that there is a sort of 3-level building made of stone with a slate roof and a chimney, with loads of little floating lights that seem to kind of hover outside it. Not like the ones you saw in the well. These just seem to kind of hover, but they are all around the outside of the house. And right underneath at the bottom of the house, treading through the swamp, are hundreds of little fleshy feet that are moving the house.
It's so weird.
For a horrible second, I thought it was Baba Yaga's hut, and I was
Yeah, same. I was
That's what I was
ready to
thinking.
run the
Like,
other way.
yeah, it's like we are
Baba Yaga's
totally
like
not
you?
ready for that.
Yeah, if those were chicken legs, we are out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Howl's Moving Castle.
That's what I thought.
Okay, I'm fairly open to concepts. After all, I am a talking cat, but that's weird, right?
I want to see what it is.
I'm not so certain I do.
Oh, I do. Ask her what do you think?
Maybe we should follow it, see where it's going.
Is it going where we just came from?
No, it's literally going across your path. As you are heading north, it's coming from from east to west, basically.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a luggage, a house version of the luggage from Discworld.
Exactly. In fact, let me show you a picture of it, and you'll see how much it is like that. Let's see if I can quickly find it for you.
Wait, what if that's... What's her name's house?
Oh, don't say
What,
that, because it will
Pavlova?
be, won't it?
Maybe she lives... I mean, it seems pretty magical and creepy, and she seems like a magical, creepy kind of baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see that?
I can, yes. I'm going to make it a little bigger for everybody at home.
It is like the luggage.
It really is.
The luggage
feet.
was cute, though.
Yeah.
There's
Can we
something...
hear any... Sorry.
Oh.
Can we hear anything coming from inside?
Not at the moment. You can hear nothing at all. It's a little odd though, because being on those feet, the house definitely seems to kind of be sort of swaying and wobbling as it moves. It's not the most stable of movements, but it seems to be moving along at a sort of fair but steady pace. Would you guys? What would you like to do? You want to stay hidden, or what are your plans?
Is it going in the direction that we were heading in? So it's now past us? No, it's not.
No, it's literally heading
sort of
across your...
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
I don't know, what do we do? Part of me wants to follow it, but also I am quite aware that that's a bad idea.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we've had worse ideas since we've been here.
Yes, that is true.
Look, why don't we go and see what it is? If it's any way, shape or form creepy or makes my hackles rise, we sprint out of there.
Before you finish this conversation, the house is it's a little way off from you. The house stops, and it's almost like it sort of settles, and the feet disappear for a second. And you can see the door opens and light spills out into the kind of the foggy swamplands. And two humanoid creatures step out from the house.
If this is Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, I am going to bloody well kill them.
It's not, but I so wish I had made it them now. Two humanoid creatures
I would
step
talk
out,
to HR.
step out from the house, step down a few steps, and they turn and walk off into the rest of the swamp, chatting amongst themselves, just as if they were two people who are on their way home from somewhere.
I really want to go now.
But we should. I mean, what? Just to look at it, not break in.
Yes, I mean they seem perfectly. I think what sort of humanoids are they, Wayne?
From what you could tell from where you are, they could have been humans. Perhaps they could have been elves, but from the shape of their bodies, they looked like regular humans or humanoids. And yeah, just walked down the steps and walked off, the two of them, conversing quietly amongst themselves.
I think keep an eye on me. And Nerogrin's going to slink out from where they're hiding and kind of sprint out after them in that sort of slight trotty way that cats who are interested in possibly getting food or fusses are. After the
humanoids.
After the humanoids.
Can I just very quickly just like tap Nerogrin to wait a sec and hold on, let me just do a thing very quickly. Can I do Divine Sense just to see if I can detect good or evil nearby?
Sure. So what exactly does Divine Sense detect?
I think it's phase
you can detect.
celestials.
Yeah, detect good and evil within 60 feet. Anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet. That's not behind total cover.
Nothing in the area within that spell sort of pings to you at all. I mean, there is a general sort of vibe of magic because of the Feywild, but there is nothing of those particular creatures that it sort of triggers anything for you with that spell.
That's why I've not cast those spells at the moment. Just going to get a headache from all the Fey stuff around you. So Nerogrin will sprint out just fast enough to kind of catch up with them a little bit, and then kind of trot up beside them and kind of look up at them expectantly.
They both look at you. And they carry on walking, and they are chatting amongst themselves. And the conversation is
rude.
The conversation is, for lack of a better term, banal. They are talking about people that you don't know. It is literally just a chat.
Nerogrin will not take that and sprints forward in front of them again and stops and rolls on the floor for a moment somewhere where it's relatively dry.
There is nowhere that's relatively dry, but there, you're kind of used to what this is now, and you roll a little bit, and they stop and they kind of smile at each other. The one reaches down, and it does appear to be it. Fair enough. It's from what you could see, it was in fact a human, and that was it. And they kind of watch you run off, and the one has a bit of a chuckle, and then they carry on walking and chatting.
Proud of himself, Nerogrin will wander back towards his friends.
As you wander back towards your friends,
how was your mission?
Before you get there, you notice that the house is still stationary and the door is still open, and the light is kind of streaming out. And with the door now open, as you're kind of heading back towards your friends, you can hear that there does sound like sort of activity in the house. It sounds like there are people in there, probably more than one person. In fact, roll me a perception roll, and with advantage because you have your auditory advantage, do you not?
Yes, I do. 24, when mostly smell.
Cool. Well, from smell, you definitely, in fact, immediately, as soon as you get close to it, you can very strongly get the smell of what smells like a really warming, hearty stew. Coming from the inside.
And I think Nerogrin won't go all the way back to his friends, but he will wait to see that those humans aren't sort of within watching him still, and then sort of stand up very awkwardly and try and beckon them.
What is he Imperial?
I think he wants us to go over there.
Oh God, he's having a conniption.
That's what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
And
I'll
he
take
will
your
throw
word
his
for it.
voice behind them. Will you come over here?
Oh,
There you go.
all right. Okay. Yep.
So
Okay.
you're going to join him, are
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Yep. I really want to make a gif
Somewhat
of Nerigwyn
stealthily.
going like. Yeah, we'll head over. Are we? Do you say you want us to do it stealthily?
Well, not like full, like Mission Impossible, but I just would take a look around to make sure that I'm not in full view. I mean, I know I'm 7 foot tall, but not in full view of everyone.
Whilst they're doing that, I'm going to go and stand go and move over to where the door is open. You said there's is there a walkway that goes up to it or something?
There are stairs that come down to the ground. It's muddy, but the stairs come down to the ground. And at the top of the stairs is the door that's open at the moment. I mean, you're still probably, I would say you're probably still a good sort of 20 or 30 feet away from the opening of the door.
I'm going to sit on the bottom step and wait for my friends.
You're sitting on the bottom step and you can see your friends heading towards you, walking up towards you. And from behind you, as you are looking at your friends, you hear a female voice that says, "Well, are you three coming in for dinner or not?"
I'm just waiting on these two to decide if they want to join me or not.
Well, don't wait too long, it'll get cold.
I shall just throw my voice towards them again. I think it's an inn or a tavern.
Really?
I think so. Yes.
I mean, Nerigwen sitting on the bottom step, it sounds and smells very much like it's a tavern.
Okay.
I like taverns. You get tidbits at taverns.
I think I'm going to pick up the pace a bit, sort of stroll over.
So as you guys reach Nerigwen, you can most definitely see inside. There are other people. There are chairs and tables. There is a bar counter, and there are people...
I'm gonna knock anyway, just because I'm not 100% sure. Even though the door's open, I'll just knock on the open door and be like, "Hello, can we come in?"
There is an elderly female face, grey hair pulled back into a bun. There's a fork stuck holding the bun together,
Nice.
and little ringlets of grey hair that have fallen down. The woman has a green dress on that's very, very basic, but in a very kind of pretty cool, kind of almost like linen dress kind of way. And she then has an apron over it. And she literally just sticks her head out after you knock and go, "Well, come on." And then pops back.
Oh, okay.
You were the lady, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
And the three of you enter the tavern. As you enter the tavern, the door closes, and you are greeted with what looks like, now that you're inside, a pretty average tavern. There are other people there. There are people sitting in sort of little corners around tables, people eating. Some people are just sitting chatting with drinks in front of them. All in all, there's probably about 15 people in the tavern. There is a bar counter which serves, you can see it looks more like a food counter than a sort of a proper bar counter. And the person that you saw, Mona, you see her walk behind the counter, disappear through some doors, and then she comes back, stops at the counter, and waves at you.
Nerrigan will kind of wander towards the counter and just bounce up onto it and sit down and wait for his friends to join him.
She just raises an eyebrow at you, grabs a cloth, and just wipes your muddy paw prints from where you landed on the bar.
I've been trying to wash them all day, and they just get muddy again. It's very rude here. Did you notice that?
Honestly, if you're going out there, you're probably not going to get much cleaner than you are now. I'm used to it. It's fine. Right. What can I get the three of you?
What do you have?
We have ales and wines. We have stew. We have some marvelous teas. What would you like?
Oh,
I'll
I
have-
could destroy a stew. I mean, eat it, obviously.
I've seen Asta cook. It's actually an accurate assumption.
Hey,
Oh,
you told me it was delicious.
It was. But I'm a cat. I can only taste 50% of the things you can taste. And you were pulling a face as you were eating it.
Oh boy, it's all going to kick off.
I'd
think
love
I'll-
stew and ale and some bread. Some bread would be good. Some that like.
I
nice
will have
crusty
exactly the
bread.
same thing. That sounds perfect.
We can definitely do that for you. How about you?
If you've got some offcuts, some meat and things like that, that would be perfect. And some clean water, probably 2 bowls, one to clean myself and one to drink.
I'm sure that can be arranged. Right. Wait here for a few minutes. And she disappears into the back. A few minutes later, not very long at all, she comes out with a bowl of water for Nergrin. And she also has a larger metal pan of clean water that she puts on the floor at the front of the bar. And she says, when you're ready, it's probably easier to wash your feet in that and keep that one for drinking. And then she disappears again. There's lots of noise in the back of just general cooking noises. And as you're waiting for her, you kind of look around the bar and you can see that it is a real sort of mishmash of people. There is another Furbolg there. Female Furbolg is sitting in the corner. There are elves, there are humans, there's a dwarf, there's a halfling. It's a real mishmash of people. But everybody seems to be very comfortable and seems to be getting on very well.
Is there anyone else at the bar that we're standing at?
The only person at the bar is an old elf. And I mean, you know, elves live for a long time anyway, but he is a very, very old elf. And he's sitting there. He has a very plain traveling robe on. He has a walking stick with him. And he is just sitting at the bar, not like nursing a drink or anything. He's literally just sitting there, clearly just happily sipping away at his ale. And when you sort of look at him and he catches your eye, he just nods politely.
I think Mona might want to talk to him.
Sure.
Whilst Mona's moseying up, I think Nerrigan will catch the eye of the female Furbolg and get very excited for a second, and then realise it's not his Furbolg.
It's not your.
I know.
Furbolg.
I can smell.
Nerrigan.
You have to check these things. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing that's happened to us in the last hour.
Hey, maybe your Furbolg is in the Feywild.
I am not ruling out that possibility. I mean, everybody else's people have gone missing. Maybe it's related.
Maybe.
Mona, you walk over to the old man.
Good morning, after evening. Hi, hello.
He cuts you off and says, with a big smile, he says, "Good day usually works."
Good day. Good day. My name is Mona. How may I address you?
My name is Blight.
Hello, Blight.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mona.
Pleasure as well. I am here with my 2 compatriots here. This is a wonderful establishment. We are quite new to the area. Do you frequent here often?
When I can, I come in here. Sue is always very kind to us.
Sue, is that the lovely lady that we just ordered food from?
Oh, you don't know Sue?
No, we are, like I said, very, very new to the
well.
whole thing.
I'm very surprised. Everyone in the Feywild knows of the inn. I mean, it's not not what it used to be, but it's still a grand place to find some comfort and get out from well, the insects and the mud. But
Yes.
well,
It seems.
welcome.
It seems.
What are you doing here if you're not from the Feywild?
Oh, we have a few different reasons for being here, but at the moment, I think it's just sort of finding our feet and getting used to this strange new environment. It's particularly muddy. That's been a bit of a problem lately.
He kind of giggles a little bit and just says, "I know you probably won't like me saying this, but you will get used to it. We have."
I really won't.
Ah,
I don't
Nerigwyn,
really see what the
this-
big deal is, to be honest.
This is Blight and Aster. Blight.
Asta?
Hello.
And who are you, my friend? He says, looking at Nergwin.
Sorry, meow. I think the bat cat's out the bag,
mm.
isn't it? I am Nerigwyn of the Fine Mane, although it's a little damp at the moment where I've been washing myself, so you'll just have to pardon that.
You are more than pardoned. It is very nice to meet you all. Well, welcome to the inn at the end of the road. I hope you
that is the name.
have a lovely evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. And he turns and carries on, just doing his thing, looking around, smiling at people, clearly very comfortable just watching the people here.
Cool. I'm gonna shuffle back along to where I was sitting or standing before.
Not very long after that, and the person that you now know is called Sue, comes out from the bar, from the back of the bar, and she brings out your food. Puts down a bowl of stew in front of Mona and Asta with some bread alongside, an ale for both of you, and Nergrin brings out a small plate that has offcuts of all sorts of different types of meat. And as she puts it down, she kind of nudges one of them and just says, "I even found a piece of tuna I had."
Oh, you are sent by the gods themselves.
Well, it has been said. Now, you three are clearly new.
Yes. Is it that obvious?
Yeah, it looks like the mud hasn't quite seeped all the way through yet.
Oh, it does that?
It just feels like it sometimes.
Oh. I feel like it's been muddy for a long time, yes?
It has. Not always, but it's been like this for a while.
I used to hear such great things about how beautiful and shining and colorful everything is. I guess that is not the case now.
Things are a bit different now, but it was. And there are still nice places, but yeah, it's a little different.
Do you encounter much trouble? We have encountered a few situations ourselves.
Well, you're perfectly safe in here, and we keep moving, so we're kind of in neutral ground. I mean, again, we used to move further afield, but we still move around in hither, and we keep it neutral in here. Besides, anybody who causes any trouble in here will find themselves outside in the mud very quickly.
I have no doubt. So, so it's fine? Like, the mud and the situation, it's fine?
Oh no, it's not fine at all, but we have to get on with things. And quite frankly, at this point, what I can do is make sure that the inn keeps working and that we keep providing some kind of respite from outside while we can.
Whilst you can.
Well, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we used to be able to move all over and now we're stuck in hither, but like I say, we make do, and we provide a service. So,
Is
sorry,
is that the coven stopping you from moving between the different regions?
yes. So, you're not that new then?
Oh, well, we just asked questions and people gave us some answers and seemed to indicate that you were all having a rougher time of it because of your new landlords.
Yes, we've not heard good things.
Oh, you're talking about her.
What is it?
Pavlova.
How do you... Yes, see? I had it right.
Bavlorna.
Pavlorna.
Yes,
Thank you.
her. And she literally turns around and spits on the floor and mutters something under her breath, which you don't understand. And then she stands up and says, I never waste a chance to curse her if I can.
Ooh, I like it.
I mean, from what I've heard, it sounds like she deserves that.
She is, well, all you have to do is step outside and see. Pretty much everything outside just represents what's inside her, as far as I'm concerned. Her and her sisters are a curse.
Has
Has anyone-
anyone tried to do anything?
Singing brain.
Oh! High
Well,
five.
yes. You must
And
understand, most people here just want to live their lives like they do where I suspect you come from. They're not powerful enough to take on the magics that are keeping it this way. It wasn't like this before. Perhaps one day Zybilna will be back and then, well, then it'll go back to what it was.
that is actually funny you should mention. It is one of the main reasons that we have decided to come to what was your fair land. To find out what has happened to Zybilna.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes, we've had a few people back where we come from that are also concerned about her disappearance.
Well, isn't that just interesting? So, what's happening here is influencing what's happening out there, huh?
It would seem.
I mean, islands aren't crashing from the sky or anything, but yes.
No, that's in our other stream.
Well, to be fair, nothing fell out of the sky yet.
But yes.
Well, there was a dwarf that fell out of the sky from a
Wait, a what?
dragonfly.
Oh yes. But yes, there are a number of people who are worried and concerned about Zybilna.
Well, I think we're all worried about Zybilna, but all I can tell you is that, well, all I can tell you is what I hear from the people who come in here, and all I know is that apparently she's trapped in her palace. But that's it. I don't know why or how, but all I know is I'd love her to be back in charge and have her power back, because it wasn't like this with her. I mean, don't get me wrong, you didn't want to mess with her, but for most of us, it wasn't like this.
No.
What can you tell us about this soggy court?
Well,
Does anyone else
The
resist the urge
least-
to say soggy bottom every
soggy
time?
bottoms, yes,
Yes,
totally.
every time. God damn it.
Well-
Mary, God damn it.
I don't know if you know much about bullywugs.
Well, not a huge amount, but do go on.
Well, how do I put this? The Soggy Court is basically a place for them to entertain their delusions of grandeur. It's called a court because that's what they like to do there. They hold court. There's a new monarch every second day because, well, they either get killed or overthrown or something. It would be a bit of a joke if they weren't quite so capable of actually doing damage if they wanted to. I mean, most of the time
Oh.
they're so busy infighting that they wouldn't know what's going on. And they get distracted by shiny things and compliments. But yes,
Well, don't we all?
You're describing Nethergwyn.
it is what it
What?
is.
What?
I mean, they don't really come in here, to be fair, but they're not really comfortable in inns and places like that. But we go past every now and then, and sometimes we trade. But yeah, they like to think of themselves as, shall we say, above their standing.
Oh, I do dislike people who think that they are better than they actually are.
Oh well, you're
But you think
definitely
you're
not
better
going to
than
like them.
everyone.
Because I am better than everyone. I'm a cat.
I love Asta's lack of filter.
Sue just sort of prods your food and just goes, just eat up.
Okay, it looks lovely.
I mean, he's between this. He is snacking down quite happily, but.
Anyway, I will leave you to eat your food. If there's anything else you need, just call.
Ooh,
Thank
And
you.
she
Sorry.
Sue it was, yes?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get your names. My name is Tsu. Tsu Harabaks.
Oh, I master this here's Nerigwin, and that's Mona.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Enjoy your stay here.
Apologies, I have one question. There's a stream nearby that seems to reflect odd things back at the people who look into it. You wouldn't know anything about that and how dangerous that might be.
I mean, I do know it. The only danger is that, well, you might see something you don't like. The stream of visions runs all the way from, well, I think it runs from Downfall to here. And most of what you see is what's happening somewhere else.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what Soggy Bottom's going to be like, isn't it?
Soggy
Oh.
Court. What is wrong with you people?
Will we find Pavlova in Soggy Bottom?
Not in the Soggy Court itself, no, but it's in the vicinity of Downfall, so I believe she'll be around there.
Also, Asta, not a person.
Wait, who's not
What?
a person?
I'm not a person.
I'm
Get it.
confused.
You're a person. I'm not a person.
No, you're a cat. Very
Exactly.
well done. Right. Well, while you argue existential crises, I'm going to do some things. Do let me know if there's anything else I can get you.
Thank you
But
for-
eat up. The stew's going to get cold.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your hospitality and your words of wisdom.
It's hardly wisdom. It's just practical sense. But thank you. And she turns around and carries on tidying up and cleaning the bar. She tends to some other people, and not long after you sit down, the door opens, two people leave, and the door closes, and you feel this kind of wobble as you can feel the house stands up. And immediately your kind of thoughts are, you saw how it was wobbling when it walked. This is going to be a nightmare. And it wobbles and starts moving, and then moves with perfect even balance. And she catches the kind of the look on Mona's face, and she just says, "It's magic, dear," and then walks on.
I like Sue.
I like this inn. Also, we ought to ask about payment and because we're not exactly hiring huge amounts of funds.
Yes, that is true.
We want to make sure that we are rewarding generosity.
Ah, yes, of course. Oh God, how do we do that?
We ask them how much it is, and then if we don't have it, we ask them how we can help to repay them.
Okay.
People aren't quite as wondered by the whole talking animal thing, because back in the Scatterlands, that's what I would normally do. Is I would offer to hold a conversation with people for a few gold as an oddity.
Nergwin,
Your
we're in a
payment is-
walking house.
I love the idea that Narragwin's idea is your payment is that I will speak to you.
No, specifically, I said that won't work here. People don't seem to be that bothered by me.
Oh, I mean,
Yes,
in the
but
other
it
place.
worked
Yeah,
elsewhere.
because look, we're in a walking house with legs.
Are
Of course,
you
they're not
arguing,
bothered by
agreeing
it.
with me?
Well, yeah.
Well, stop it.
I'm just eating. I'm like Kermit. Like, this is none of my business.
By all means, disagree with me when you think I'm wrong. Which is very little time, to be fair. But not when we're both agreeing about the same thing. That just seems like a waste of energy.
I'm just going to eat my stew.
Asta,
Yep, same.
Asta, you're worthy of a headbutt. I'm gonna just headbutt your knee.
So you guys continue with your meal, and Sue is around if you need anything, but you guys carry on. The other people in the tavern are having meals, as I said, some of them drinking and chatting, and the atmosphere is, for the first time since you left, feels almost normal. It feels like you're just back in a place that is a tavern, and it's the first time you've actually felt sort of warm, full bellies and no mud under your feet and a place that you actually feel comfortable again. And
I'm gonna
spend
ask
some
my
time in there.
compatriots. I think I'll be like, do you think they hire out rooms? We can rent a room for.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask them for a job.
Oh, not. Do you think they are hiring? No.
We don't know that you've not lost your job yet. I'm sure they'll take you back, Mona. Don't worry.
I mean, if we sort all this out, they'll have to.
Yes,
And a pay rise, I think.
Well, I mean, if we fix all the things, yes, I will be demanding that. If we break all the things, I don't think I'm going to have a job.
I mean, if we break all the things, I don't think we're going back.
Oh, what did I get myself into? Okay.
Two walks past and drops 3 plates in front of you. And they're just tiny little plates. Mona and Asta, you two both have a plate with a slice of pie on it, which wafts of sort of warm pastry and the smell of plums.
Oh.
And Nergwin, you have a little plate where she has clearly rolled up some of the spare meats, so it looks like a little dessert treat with some gravy on it, and she puts it in front of you. And she doesn't say anything. She just puts it down and kind of gives you a nod and walks off.
I love this woman.
She's so good.
Theo
We
is
must
suspicious of all this
Sue.
generosity, but Asta is very happy to see pie.
Oh,
Dear, yeah.
Cool. So, anything else you guys would like to do while you're
Is there anything
eating?
we need to sort of inquire about? We know about the Soggy Court. We know...
We want to get to Downfall. We want to find that Clapperclaw is his name? The scarecrow fella?
Yes. Yes.
well, what?
But it did seem like as soon as we got to Downfall, he'd be pretty easy to find. I mean, he's a scarecrow.
Are we still looking for a piece of this cauldron here, or do we need to try and get that before we move on to another location?
Because the cauldron is like part of the. If we get to Pavlova, if we get to the good one, and we don't have the piece of the cauldron.
How are we going to rescue her?
Yes.
Wait, I missed something. What are we looking for?
A cauldron.
I thought the cauldron was in the castle. I don't know why I've decided it's a castle, but
no, the cauldron
Definitely
isn't. The cauldron what the coven used to seal away Zabina.
yeah.
Correct.
Right. So presumably.
But
they
how do
have
we
it.
know it's in pieces?
I'm
Yeah,
sure
so they have the cauldron, and that from what you have learned from what Talavar told you, they have used Igwil's cauldron to imprison Zybilna in her palace.
Sorry, I misunderstood. For some reason, I thought they had separated it into 3 parts. Just maybe it's just me going. That's how.
That's what they've done.
That's Your
what he told.
fantasies
No,
are
no.
crossing.
That the
That's what he
land is in
told
2
you.
parts, right?
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
told you they have done to Prismere. Prismere being the realm that you're in, the 3 hags have separated it into 3 separate areas for themselves, and then there is the palace, which is kind of the 4th piece.
Okay, cool.
And where are we trying to get to when we find the scarecrow? Do you think it can take us to the palace directly?
Well, he knows how to get out of hither, because nobody knows how to leave here. Like, nobody's able to travel from hither to thither or Yorn.
Yep. That's why they've done that.
I didn't write it.
Perfectly normal, adequate names, I'm sure. So where are we trying to get to? Are we trying to just get out of hither? Or are we specifically trying to go to one of the other 2 locations?
Well, we know that Bavlorna lives in Downfall, but I don't know. We don't know much about how powerful she is, and I don't know that we are.
I mean, he says flicking off a little bit of the last bit of mud. I mean, she is not without consequences. And just being here, she's affected a whole land. So
I feel like we might need to team up with some people.
Well, maybe we look for this scarecrow feller, and then we ask him. Wait, what?
Wait. I haven't got a plan, but I have some points. Things that we
Right.
have learnt about these 3 witches. They are arrogant, and they don't trust each other.
Yeah.
So a key to getting this cauldron may be turning them on each other.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind
But in
of
order to do that, I feel like we need a lot more information.
true.
Yes, and influence.
We need to. I mean, one of the things we need to know is where this cauldron is. Once we know that, maybe we can start effecting a plan.
So, step 1, information. Scarecrow friend seems to have information.
Let's start there at least. That's something.
And that is Downfall, yes?
No, that's
Yes.
the court, isn't it?
No, Downfall.
They're
yeah.
in Downfall as well, are they? Okay.
Yeah, which is where the Soggy Court is.
Lovely.
Wonderful. I'm glad we have a plan.
Should we-
And it sounds like the river runs all the way to it, so we're not even going to get lost.
Well, now we know what the river is doing. I trust it a bit more.
Unless the tavern is
Oh,
now
really?
going in the other direction.
Yes, Sue? Sue?
Yes. Can I help you?
Yes.
Oh, there wasn't something wrong with the food, was there?
Oh my god, no.
No,
Oh,
the food was
wow.
delicious.
Oh, good.
How much do we owe you, by the way, for the food?
Yes.
Well, that's for you to decide. I mean, any old trinket could do, or a service you could do me. You think about it. What were you going to ask?
Oh, yes, we will have it think. What direction is the tavern moving in right now? Just so we can plan logistically how we're going to get to where we need to get to.
Well, we don't really have a specific direction we move in. We travel around. Because distance can be a little tricky in the Feywild, we move around and we appear where people need us. Or at least that's what I tell people. To be honest, it's pretty random.
Oh,
I mean, you did show up just at a point in time we were thinking about what we would need to do to camp.
that's very
Well-
true.
Sometimes I have a sixth sense about these things.
Impressive. Okay. Do you think that it would be realistic for us to get to Downfall, say, from wherever we stop?
Oh, I'm sure we can sort of get you in the general direction, but we don't head that way directly.
No, I
if we can
wouldn't.
help it, unless it's to trade.
I wouldn't ask you to change your route, just so we don't end up
Yeah, just
impossibly far away.
Yes.
Let's put it this way: you certainly won't be any further away.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
Good. Do you happen to have rooms to rent?
We do, if you'd like to stay.
I feel how am I compared
A rest would be pretty good for me right now.
Well, do you need an extra room for your fine friend here, or will you be sharing with one of them?
Oh, me? Oh, I sleep
Yes.
wherever. It's one of the things that we're quite good at, just sleeping.
Proficiency in sleeping.
We have proficiency in sleeping.
Well, I shall arrange for 2 rooms for you. Give me 10 minutes, and then whenever you're ready, they'll be at your disposal.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to have to talk about some sort of payment. We can't let this woman just put us up for the night. This doesn't seem fair.
No.
And reciprocity. Remember that.
Yes. What can we provide? Maybe ask in what sort of services she could need.
That is probably a good place to start. I was going to say I could try and catch some rats for her, but one, I don't really fancy trying to catch rats in the Feywild. Don't know what they do.
Oh no, they'd probably eat you.
Two, this is a walking house. I feel like rats would have a problem getting in here. I could be wrong.
Yeah, who knows? They could fly here. They could show you the face of God here. Who knows? This place makes no sense.
Mona's
all at
just
once.
given up on sense now.
Nothing is real. Everyone dies. Good night.
Mona's gone native.
So Sue comes back a few minutes later and says, "Your rooms are number 3, and your room is number 3, and your room is number 4. They're just at the top of those stairs. Anytime you're ready, they're ready for you."
Thank you. Jade.
Sue,
Sorry, Nedogwyn.
Sorry, Han. What can we do to pay and help? Is there any services that we can provide you? Anything that you feel like we could do? We're a little stumped and we're a little lost, and we want to make sure that we're paying our way properly.
Yes.
She kind of looks around and sort of just throws a glance at the other people, and there are a couple of people nearby, and she says, "I'll come back to you on that. Don't worry about it for now." And she walks away. A little later, when a few people have kind of wandered off, and there is a little more kind of space around you guys, she comes back and she puts her elbows on the bar and she says, "So, you mentioned being here to help Sibylla?
Yes.
I tell you what, if you can find a way to get rid of Bavlorna, any way that you want, consider your debt paid. If not, I expect you to be back with payment."
With the interest, absolutely.
And she stands up, and as she walks away, she turns back and looks to you, and she just says, "She's ruined this place."
We can see.
And
I still don't feel good about not giving you nothing. We got to give you something.
Your service will be payment enough if you can pull that off. We used to be able to move all over Prismere, to visit wonderful places and take people everywhere. And now we're stuck in this swamp.
But you are doing such good for the people who you do encounter. I know it isn't the same, but you're still doing wonderful things.
Her face goes from looking a little sort of somber and serious to just a big smile, and she just says, well, what's the alternative? Just give up? Not a chance, dear. And she walks out.
In a different life, that woman was a cat.
So what do you guys like to do?
Do you guys want to do anything, or just want to go straight for a long rest?
How I can't ask what time it is. So
It's
how
still
like
twilight.
yeah, it's still 6 p.m. So how like tired would we be feeling right now? Do we feel
I
like
think
it?
by now you would be tired. I mean, the walking through the mud is tiring at the best, but you've had a lot today of trudging through the mud. Between that and pulling Narragwyn free, and
Out of the seventh
and
ring of hell.
and on top of that, for the first time, actually having sat down and had a really full warm meal,
Oh,
and
we've got the carb sleeps.
being comfortable, and there's a fireplace, and it's like whatever it is outside, it feels comfy and cozy, and like you guys could absolutely fall asleep.
I want to be there now.
Well, I don't want to have to deal with the outside when you finish, though. That's terrible.
Just don't ever leave.
Yeah, no.
It's
never
nothing
leave.
denial can't
Stay.
fix. Yep.
Yes, the end of our campaign. Thank you for joining.
Yep. The rest of the campaign is just me starting a little
Eating
Etsy shop inside this place.
Cool. So are you going off to bed then?
Yeah, let's long rest.
Take a long rest.
Cool. So you guys head up to bed. Sue gives you her kind of usual, if there's anything you need, let me know, and you head off to bed. And you will have a long rest. And there, I think, is a good place for us to leave it to have a break.
Yay!
Cool. So we are going to have we'll do a 15-minute break, and we'll be back at 8:30. So please have a stretch, get yourself some refreshments. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We so appreciate it. All our friends from Wicked Game, and our friends from Dice in the Slice, and all the other people who are regulars who come and join us for this. Honestly, it's
My
so
mum.
lovely. And Charlie's mum. Hi, Charlie's mum.
This is
Colleen
not
is
a
here as well.
vase as you thought it was. This is a
Yes.
mug.
And,
So-
and with that, Charlie is drinking wine out of a vase. So we will leave you for 15 minutes for a break, and we will see you back at 8:30. Thank you again. See you shortly. We're out. Hello! Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good stretch and got something to drink and all the rest. Charlie has topped up her vase of wine. Yes, I hope you're ready for the second half. So, we left our adventurers for the first time in what seems like a very long time, having a long rest in an actual bed, as they spent the evening in the inn at the end of the road. As they have now found out, this place is called, hosted by the lovely Sue Harabaks, who runs the inn at the end of the road. And they have learnt from her that she too hates the hag Bavlorna, who has apparently been responsible for turning hither into this swamp and morass of misery and mud. So, you guys have the first proper restful night's sleep that you have had for a very long time. Mona and Neragwin, your sleep is largely sort of undisturbed. Asta, although you do get a full night's rest, what you do is you find that your dreams are busy. There are visions of everything that you saw during the day floating across your dreams, almost like your brain is replaying everything that you have seen and everything that you've experienced here. And it just feels like even though you rested, everything in your dreams was heightened, far more vivid, far more almost real, but just more vivid, more colourful. Everything felt almost that your senses seem to be alert in your dreams, far more than you can remember being for a long time. But you still get a full night's sleep, and you awake the next morning, all three of you, feeling more rested than you have for quite some time. Who is awake first?
Guess.
I mean, I shouldn't even ask at this point, but Neragwin, awake, are you staying in your rooms or are you going down to the bar area?
No, and I will be kind to my two travelling companions because they have had a very rough time as well, and I will go and see if Sue is about and just kind of make myself comfortable in the bar room.
Cool. You head down to the bar room, and there is a different group of people there, but it is still busy. People are very relaxed, but people are still chilling out. Cats are meowing. And, you know, like I say, it feels like a different clientele, but it's still busy. It doesn't feel like you expected it to feel because it's not necessarily a typical morning. Sue is there, and as soon as you come down, she slides a plate in front of you with some more scraps on it, freshens up a bowl of water, and as soon as you sort of jump up and start with your meal, she just kind of keeps coming over and making sure that, you know, everything's all right, tidying up, wiping up behind you if you've made a bit of a mess. Like, she's on top of things, but in a sort of quietly efficient way.
And despite Neragwin's dexterity, he does do that thing where he pushes the bowl around with his nose.
Well, he's a cat, so bear with me 1 second.
I think our cat is playing up.
Speaking of cats.
Speaking of cats, we got up for coffee.
And I'm back.
There we go.
Anyway, right, who's up next?
I think-
Asta is probably up next.
Go for it.
As to you go down, and same thing, you notice that there are other people there, but the bar is still sort of feeling quite active. Neragwin is now sitting on the counter, cleaning himself, clearly sort of having just eaten, licking his chops, licking his paws, looking, if possible, even more pleased with himself than usual.
I mean, clearly it was my hard work that fed me, so therefore I should be proud.
Obviously. As you walk down the stairs, Asta, Sue just kind of waves a hand at you and carries on wiping off some of the tables.
Yeah, Asta will just head and sit with Nerwin.
Cool. Sue comes over and says, would you like something to eat or something to drink?
I'd love some breakfast. That'd be great.
I'm sure we can find something for you. And some tea, perhaps?
Oh yeah, lovely. Love a cup of tea.
And she disappears into the back to prepare some breakfast food and some tea for you. Mona?
Yeah, I shall awaken next. Feeling a little bit weird waking up a bit late because I'm used to waking up early and managing things, but I'm functioning. And I come downstairs and sit with my pals.
Cool. Same thing. Sue kind of waves at you as you come down. As you get there, she's putting down a sort of breakfast meal for Asta. And there's kind of very simple food, but it's kind of good, hearty food, if somewhat simple. And Asta, she brings you a old tin, beaten up teapot that she puts down. And she opens the lid and the steam comes out, and there is the richest smell of sort of sweet herbs. And you can see that there are proper, real floating green herbs in the tea. And she just closes it and slides a cup over to you and says to Mona, "Good morning. What would you like?"
Oh, just the biggest receptacle you have, fill it with porridge, and then I'm good.
I'm sure we can manage that.
Thank you.
And she disappears off to prepare your breakfast.
Oh, this is good. Did everyone sleep okay?
Best I have since we got here.
Haha.
You both
Wonderful.
slept
I had
very
some-
well.
I had some weird dreams, but you know.
Anything to be worried about, or just normal levels of weird dreams?
Did you see bullywug heads on sticks?
Or angry women chopping meat? Or small
No.
cats yelling?
I mean, you always see small cats yelling.
That's true.
Yeah. No, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, just,
Just some weird dreams.
To be
Okay.
fair, I mean, we've all been quite stimulated, and Asta has quite the imagination at the best of times. So, probably processing all the weird stuff we are seeing at the moment.
I do have a tendency to have weird dreams, honestly.
Do you? Okay.
Just the one night where he said he was a tea kettle. That was odd.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I wonder what
That was one of the more tame ones, if I'm honest.
Oh dear. Well, as long as they haven't, distressed you
But he's not turned into
Oh,
a tea
is-
kettle yet.
yet. Yes.
Do druids
So
turn
you're
into
still-
tea kettles? Is that
No.
a thing? No.
Wild shape into a kettle.
Tea kettle.
Just a boring Kenwood kettle.
Yeah, I can't do inanimate objects. Just,
The circle of tea rooms.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The
you still
circle of
slept well,
tea.
yes?
Oh yeah, I feel rested.
Okay. It's cool.
Sue comes out with your porridge, Mona, and slides it in front of you and just goes about her sort of usual
Thank you, Sue.
tidying up. She kind of gestures as a little wave to you as she carries on wiping down things and tidying up.
I love Sue. Guys, I'd love Sue.
She
I feel
is.
like our main mission now is to protect Sue.
You're going to make us fight Pavlova, aren't you?
If it protects and makes Sue happy, yes.
I mean, I have not meant.
I feel like if it seems like every person we meet is the person we have to protect.
I was going to say, screw Jingle Jangle. We've moved
Yeah,
on.
we've replaced Jingle Jangle now. Have you just forgotten
Ah,
about
yes.
her?
I
Yes,
mean, I
that's a
would.
good
I
point.
would. Yes. We must go back to Jingle Jangle at some point.
We have a lot of people to protect, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a question. Has anyone thought of asking why Pavlova has done what she has done? I know.
I don't
Hag.
guess we haven't, have we? No.
But I just had a thought. Like, what? Why?
No, I think.
I mean, it's a good point. Yeah.
Well, we could ask Sue. I mean, I don't know if she'd have that sort of insight, but certainly she seemed willing to listen.
Yes. Could it be? Yeah, maybe when she's not busy, when she comes over next, I might ask her because just
It
seems like
seems-
an obvious thing.
It seems to me it's probably a case. It seems like a jealousy, power, hungry.
Between
You
her,
have,
her
I
cousin.
want, I'll take. That sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. It's not fair that you get to do all this. I want a piece of that.
Between
too.
her cousin, do you mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're sisters, aren't they? This complicated relationship, probably.
Yes.
But if all three of
I
you
don't.
wanted
I
to-
don't have siblings, but it's always seemed like
You don't
it's
want
a-
them.
no.
You have them?
Yes.
I suppose cats. There's lots.
But to be fair, I'm a cat, so I have no familial connection generally anyway. Just to my people that I've chosen.
Yes. Okay. Fair. I still want to ask. Just
Oh
in
yeah.
case.
I
It's
think
a
it's
great
useful
idea.
question. Yes. I'm in full agreement. Off you go, Mona.
Oh, I mean, I need
Yeah,
to
I'm
eat
busy
my
with this
bucket.
tea.
I have a bucket of porridge. Okay, I need to get through this.
And I just don't want to.
So I will scoff my porridge first, and then if Sue wanders nearby, I will.
Yeah, I mean she's in and out. You guys are sitting at the bar, so she's in and out into the kitchen, and so she's easily within reach if you wanted to get her attention.
I'm gonna like lean back in whatever I'm sitting on, and sort of do a so.
Yes, and she comes round. She goes, "How can I help? More porridge?"
First, I don't think that would be safe. Amazing, by the way, very good porridge. I had a quick question for you, which has been bugging me. It was bugging me last night. So, Aster, how do you say it again?
Pavlorna.
Pavlona. Why has she done what she's done to your land? Like, why? It seems.
Do you mean why they've divided up Prismia, or?
Yes, and why, once it is divided, did she choose to essentially start to destroy it?
And also, why take the land from Zibilna in the first place?
Yes.
Oh, that's a very easy one.
Oh.
Well, I'm not exactly sure of the family history, but from what I know, Zibilna and her, the other three hags are essentially, I think, some kind of adopted sisters of Zibilna.
Oh.
And the motive for it, pure and simple as far as I'm concerned, is jealousy. I think they've been trying for a long time to do it, but she was without doubt the most powerful and certainly the most favored. And although, as I said, you wouldn't want to mess with her, she certainly ruled well, and generally people liked her, unless you were of the nefarious type, in which case she made it a little difficult for you. But her sisters have always been jealous of her, and I think they basically got over their mistrust of each other long enough to gang up on her and found a way to imprison her.
Oh, that is sad.
As for why she chose to do this with her part of Prismia, you obviously haven't seen her, have you?
Thankfully not.
How can I describe this?
I'm imagining that old woman in Spirited Away.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of thinking she's a bog witch of some kind.
Ooh.
So, Sue kind of just thinks for a bit, and she says, "Right, Imagine if you took a toad and an old woman and made them one thing.
Oh, that's a very lumpy situation.
That's pretty accurate.
Oh.
By the way,
Wait,
Bolga
when-
Yaga is a great suggestion for.
When I say she's hideous, it's not just inside, believe me. She looks like a frog. She has bedraggled hair and huge bulbous eyes, as do all her little minions. And although she lives like a hermit, she has to submerge herself daily, or she will
Oh.
dry out.
So that explains the muddy, swampy horribleness.
Trust me, if you saw her, you would understand.
This is all starting to make sense. Thank you, Sue. Okay.
Would
So
that
she's
explain
a-
why the bullywogs have got themselves to such a positive position?
Oh, that would make sense. It's their kind of environment. And they've kind of placed themselves as the traders nearby, so... Besides, I'm pretty sure that anyone who, let's say, is in Bavlorna's favour is certainly doing something for her and not just for themselves. So,
So you reckon our little friends will be doing something for her?
oh, probably. They're terribly self-interested anyway, but I'm sure it's not just out of the goodness of her shriveled heart that they are living so close to her and allowed to parade around. But as I say, I've generally found them mostly harmless to us anyway. They seem to spend more time fighting amongst themselves. But then, so did the Hourglass Coven before all of this, and they seem to have found a way to work together, albeit briefly, I suppose.
Yes, so they do not communicate with each other now. Their spite has got the better of them.
I honestly don't know, but I know that they
yes.
do not trust each other. That much we have all seen.
Okay. Well, I think this has been very valuable. Thank you. Thank you very much. This has made it more horrifying, less confusing. So...
If it helps,
Hello.
I will say that I suspect as you get closer to Downfall, you will probably find people who may know a little more about what's going on now.
That's good to know.
Okay, so Downfall is definitely our next target.
Well, there's some way between here and Downfall, but...
So, sorry, I'm just trying to reframe things in my mind. Is Soggy, the Soggy Court, part of Downfall, or is it out there?
Pretty much. It's kind of like a little makeshift village attached to Downfall. And as far as I know, Downfall is still where Bavlorna's little house is.
Right, then. Well, this has been a very positive stay. Thank you so much, Sue. And we will do everything we can to try and return this place back to how it should be.
Absolutely.
As I said, if you do that for me, all debts are paid, but otherwise, you are welcome to return, and we try our best to at least keep a little bit of pleasantness running around hither.
You do a wonderful job.
Well,
It
thank
was
you.
such a respite to come here.
Well, I hope that you have much fortune on your journey forward, because I'm sure it's not going to be a terribly easy one.
No. We have got that impression.
Right, well, just let me know when you'd like us to stop. And she goes back to pottering.
I'll look at my pals. What do you think? When should we head off?
As much as I don't want
Well,
to
we-
get back in the mud, sooner
Yeah.
is better.
We got quite a way ahead of us by the sounds of things, so
And we are all well rested and full of porridge and food.
and tea.
And tea. Okay.
Shall we?
Yes, indeed. And I think we'll sort of walk over, I guess.
Before we leave, Asta's gonna just quickly head over to the bar to Sue.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you didn't want to take anything from us, but I wouldn't feel right if we were just to come in here and take all your kind hospitality and leave with nothing. I mean, I know we're gonna hopefully sort out the situation, but anyway, and he gets out his pack and like looks through it, and he's gonna give her some tea leaves that he's like mixed himself. Now this my special recipe is great for before you go to bed. You know, there's some nice lavender in there, valerian, that kind of thing. Get you off a right treat. So yeah, just think of this as like a thank you, and then we'll come back when we finish the job proper.
She takes both your hands as you hand it to her, and she says, I think that's cheating, don't you? You clearly know the way to an old druid's heart. And she takes the leaves and she puts them into her apron, and she turns back and says, I assume you are ready to go?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
please.
And before she walks towards the door, she just looks back at you, Asta, and she says, but that doesn't mean your debt is paid.
Oh, no, don't worry.
And she just laughs and walks back to the door. And there's a little wobble, like as the house kind of settles, and you realize that up until now you've felt no movement whatsoever until that moment.
It's like when the tube suddenly stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this kind of little wobble, and the door opens, and Sue just leans on the door frame, and she's like, right, well, you're no further away, and from here, just head pretty much north in the direction you were. It's still a good way from what I can tell, but you're on your way.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
You are more than welcome, and I hope to see you soon with better news, or at least for a visit.
Oh, we absolutely intend to come back. That pie was exceptional.
I'm glad to hear it. We're kind of known for it.
Take care of yourself and wish us luck.
Well, that I do. Good luck, my friends, and, well, take care of each other.
I'm going to go down reluctantly down the steps back into the swamp.
Cool. You guys step down from the house, and once you are kind of clear of the steps and everything,
Oh, not again.
yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, I'd almost forgotten quite how sticky it was. Shall we go back? Should we just go back?
Honestly, it's not that bad, is it? It's just mud.
It's so sticky.
It gets between your toes. I've got fur between my toes. That's just unpleasant.
It gets between my knits. My lovely knits.
I had to
I
second.
I really thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah.
It clicked
So
out
did
ever
I.
so slightly there. So
Yeah. It was a little bit too much of a pause after the second letter of that word. Anyway, yeah. Yes, as you've stepped away from the house or whatever, you see the door close, and Sue just kind of waves her hand, turns around, and walks in as the door closes. And you stand and sort of look back as the house, in an incredibly ungainly way, kind of rises to its multitude of feet, and starts moving off into the distance, sort of enveloped again by the fog. And one of the first things you notice is that its movement is so erratic and wobbly, and it almost looks like every one of the feet is drunk. that the visual of that house moving and what you remember of being inside the house as it moves just does not match up in your heads at all.
I feel like there's a
And
moment where the three of us are just kind of watching it go, and I think one or more of us just go, magic.
and the house disappears into the familiar swamp fog. So
Right,
you guys,
shall we?
you know the direction by now because you know where the sun is. So you will be heading in the same direction that you have been. And so braced a little bit by a good meal and rest and some pleasant people, you turn and start your way heading north towards Downfall. So, let's roll a survival roll.
What fresh hell do we encounter next? Bun on a bun.
Wrong button.
Nice.
Okay. I am going to roll my temporary bless.
Hashtag temporary bless.
Temporary bless to kind of bring that up a little bit because I don't want to fall in another hole.
Oh god.
14.
14 is good. Asta?
22.
Damn.
That's even better. And Mona?
A dirty 20.
Wow, good rolls, guys. So yeah, you guys are feeling far more buoyant than you were before, and managed to kind of tiptoe your way around anything that looks a little suspicious. Learning now to use the vegetation and the fallen debris, any kind of floating logs where you can. You're starting to get pretty adept at moving through this, and you make good way as you're kind of moving forward. As always, it's difficult to tell with the sun not really moving, but you guys feel like this is probably the fastest you've sort of made in terms of speed and distance since you've been in the Feywild. Definitely feeling a lot healthier, a lot more positive and driven as you kind of make your way through.
We're getting
As
good at
you-
this shit now. We could just Bear Grylls this. We'll be alright.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mona's going to be killing her own food soon. As you sort of make your way, the vegetation obviously changes quite a lot, especially because you can't see that far ahead. But it starts to become kind of clear that the vegetation on either side is getting a little more dense. So the kind of trees and everything start getting a little thicker. And it basically means that there is only one kind of real route for you to go. It's not a small path, it's wide, but it definitely means that you're heading in that direction. You couldn't really go off this incredibly wide path because you would be going through very heavy vegetation. But it is heading in the right direction still. So you guys kind of make your way through. So, is there anything you guys would like to do or talk about or anything like that as you walk? Or are you happy to just progress?
I think I'm happy to progress unless there's anything you guys need to chat about.
I think Mona might check in with you two just briefly and just be like, so how do you think your mission is this how you expected it to go? How are you feeling about this mission of yours?
Well, I mean, that lovely place and Jingle Jangle's home aside, I still hate this place. But I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Like, I literally just wanted to find my Firbolg, and now I'm here. So,
How did finding your Firbolg lead you to this mission?
well, this person who hired us said that Zabima might be able to reveal what happened to my Firbolg and how I can find them.
Okay. And Aster, how did you get involved in helping?
Oh, I just
Very
like
good.
helping.
Oh,
Didn't you,
okay.
Didn't you have a big want to get back here as well?
Oh yeah, I've been to the Feywild before. You see, it was a while ago.
Yes.
Um,
I think I remember you briefly saying.
yeah. Well, it's a long story actually, and I'm not really sure how I got here the first time. I was only
Oh.
small, and I was actually going for a walk in the woods with my dad, and we were foraging, for mushrooms and stuff. And I saw this weird light, and it seemed like a good idea to follow it. And I did, and then I ended up in the Feywild. Wandered through a Fey crossing somehow. And then I was stuck there for, well, a long time actually.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, and then just as weird as the circumstances of getting there, I then found myself back in the material plane, but I can't remember how I got there.
Oh.
Yeah, and to me, it only felt like I'd been gone for a couple of years, but it had been like a decade.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen here because I don't really have many decades to use.
I thought you said
No.
you got 9 lives. Isn't that several decades?
I mean, they're different lives.
Wait, do you come back as a different cat?
Presumably. I mean, if you believe in reincarnation, I am quite clearly the pivot of all things all creatures aspire to, so can only ever come back as a cat.
You've reached the top.
Absolutely.
This all makes
Yeah, so
perfect
anyway, that
sense
was
to
my
me.
reason for coming. Really.
I love that Nerequin's like, oh, just real quick, I'm the best. Carry on.
Sorry, how can I make this about me?
I just love the way Asta's just like, yeah, anyway, I was saying.
Anyway, yeah, that's why I wanted to come back. I wanted to find out what happened. I mean, there were people who helped me while I was in the Feywild, took care of me. I mean, I was only a child, so I was here all alone and scared. And then I had people who helped me, but I can't remember what happened. And I wanted to know that they were okay, and I wanted to come back. I mean, the last time I was here, it was definitely less soggy.
Must have been nice.
It was, yeah, actually.
Bit more court.
From what I remember, anyway. I can't remember that much, and what I do remember, sometimes it comes in dreams and stuff, which, not too cohesive.
Maybe that explains your vivid dreams then. Your brain's trying to remember. Well, it's good to know what the intentions are from you. I obviously knew they were good intentions, but... Yes?
Why are you here? I mean, other than, you just got caught up in our happenstance, there must be some kind of reason that you want to come to the Feywild.
Yes. Well, I was informed that you were going to be coming.
By
who?
I'm gonna have to get Wayne to remind me.
Wasn't that pig-faced girl, was it?
Oh.
No.
Oh no, she's still creeping about somewhere, isn't she?
I forgot about her. Oh god.
I had not. I had just assumed we left her in the carnival. But now you've brought her up, I'm fairly certain she might be here, because she was exactly the mirror we went through.
She's the final boss.
Oh no.
Modi, you were the creature that visited you was in fact a fairy dragon.
Oh, yay!
And the fairy dragon had told you of these 2 travelers who would be coming to the carnival, and had specifically asked you to help them in the carnival, and had told you that the carnival itself and possibly the realm of Fae were at risk. so that it would sort of behoove you to help them as well, because the carnival was at risk as well. And that being your home for so long.
Wasn't there also
yes.
something to do with Mona missing something? I know we don't know that as characters, but
Yeah, well, that's for Mona to
Yeah.
tell you, but yes.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think at this point she would kind of want to just like mention it. So she's gonna obviously tell them about the fairy dragon and all that stuff. So yeah, so it was the carnival I wanted to protect, and this cool dragon came and told me about you both. And I mean, I have some personal curiosities that some loose ends that I would like to maybe explore somewhat. I had a feeling maybe this and the carnival, the way they're linked, maybe I could find out something here.
Loose end.
I mean, that's quite cryptic. Are you just going to leave it at that, or? 'Cause I mean, that's
Yes,
fine. If you
anyway.
don't want to tell us, that's fine. I just
No, it's okay. It's
Honestly,
it's,
being
I mean,
cryptic at either Astor or Neragrin is just pointless.
Oh yeah, because you'll just be like, fucking what? No,
Yeah.
tell us.
That's pretty much right. Astor is just like, what do you mean?
No dramatic pauses for Astra or Neragwin. No. It was So I had a issue when I was younger. I got all of a sudden very nervous and struggled to articulate myself to strangers, like talk to strangers. Luckily, I have a bit of a defense against that with so you can see on her sword there's like a little sun pendant that hangs off the end of it. This was given to me by a good friend back at the carnival. For some reason, sort of helps me with that, but I don't like the fact that without it, I straight up just couldn't really talk to people. People I didn't know anyway, and that kind of happened all of a sudden. So it was a bit weird, and it was a bit felt like something was stolen and didn't like it.
So someone did that to you?
I don't know. Perhaps it feels weird enough for it to be something that may originate from here, because I mean, to be honest, whilst I was working at the carnival, I'm pretty sure I completely forgot about the whole thing. I didn't even think about it. I knew everyone there. I had no problems. It was fine. But the second you two showed up, the second I started talking to people about something that wasn't day to day working, I started to remember, yes, I had this thing. And I don't have this thing anymore. I'd like to find it again. So that is one of the reasons why I'm here, I suppose.
We will certainly add it to our list.
We have a lot of things to find, don't we?
I know. Everybody keeps losing things. Very careless of them.
I didn't do it on purpose. I was a teenager. I didn't know what I was doing.
But yes, so
you lost a whole fur ball. I don't
Yeah.
think you're in the position
And they're not small.
to go people careless.
Too soon, Astor. Too soon.
I didn't lose my furbog. My furbog wandered off. Foolish.
They
of
are
me,
not
really.
small things to lose. That's quite impressive. Mine is more of a concept. You lost the whole thing.
Well, he was there for my whole life, and then he wasn't. And that was very
We shouldn't
confusing.
mock.
and I
We
didn't-
shouldn't mock. I'm sorry. We shouldn't mock.
Yes, it's only my whole world completely shattered, but do as you must, I suppose.
Wow.
Oh no! Psych damage.
I mean, no guilting there at all.
I only lost my purpose in life, but go off.
It's only the only person I ever loved.
wow.
Exactly.
Not like a cat to be dramatic at all.
No, not at all. So as you guys are sort of walking along and having this conversation, you do notice that, I mean, Asta particularly, you would notice that as the vegetation is getting thicker, you also, it feels like you're heading into almost a kind of an older part of the swamp. The trees are getting bigger, and as you sort of carry on walking, sort of within an hour, you can see that the trees are huge, stretching, incredibly high with huge trunks, things that are like 20, 30 foot across. And so, there's still the kind of swamp and everything, but these big trees now make it feel more like it was once a forest of some sort that's been kind of flooded. And it's still muddy and everything, but there's more shade. You notice that there's a kind of a weird silence to the air because of the vegetation and everything. You still can't see very far, but it's definitely changed from just the open swampland that you were in before. After a couple of hours of walking through this, you see there's kind of this foggy marsh that still stretches out before you, but you start to see shapes in the mist. Not people or anything moving, but you start to see sort of things that don't look like trees, that look a little more man-made. But it's difficult because of the fog. As you get closer, you see stuck in the water, there's a couple of upright poles that almost look like the remains of a jetty or something like that. And it definitely looks like wherever you're going, there are more man-made structures, or were, possibly because people lived there before, or it's a little unclear. As you get a little closer, things start to emerge from the fog, and you see that there are sort of rickety causeways of wood, these kind of crisscrosses, almost like a web of causeways above the swamp. They form like a web-like structure over the bog, which is clearly meant for people to be able to navigate without having to get into the bog. And in the distance, you can tell that the causeways all seem to be kind of centered on something. It's still a little way off, but from what you can tell from here, it looks like they all kind of come from or lead to an enormous tree stump. And it's a good sort of 20 foot high. And I mean, enormous, big enough for, a small encampment or for a house to be built on, or it's that kind of size. As you start to get a little bit closer, you can see that it is indeed this tree trunk with ivy growing up it, vegetation covering the bottom of it, and the causeways all lead to this tree trunk in the distance.
Whoa, that's atmospheric.
Well, I mean, I can't prove that those stakes look a lot like the things I saw before, so I'm not certain it's exactly the same idea, but just...
What, the things that have heads on them?
That's what I'm worried about.
Actually, Nergun, you would be able to tell these look more like stumps, like I said, that would be used for construction, rather than sort of thin, sharp stakes of any sort.
Okay. I will rescind that statement. I misunderstood. Chris
Thank
misunderstood.
God for
Nergun
that.
would have known that.
Of course, Nergun knows all.
Yes. Okay. Same plan. Proceed with caution. See what we can find out, and sprint like crazy the first sign that something goes horrible. Oh,
yes,
and I am
careful,
packing
these
exploding
boards-
things today.
Oh, good. These boards are slippy, so when sprinting, be careful. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll head closer, just like Carefully. Are we full stealthing?
It's
Are
just
you?
a stump, right?
Yeah. Can't see
Well,
it.
the stump, I mean, the huge stump is still a way away. And there are these sort of crisscross of sort of gangways that lead towards it. So
I think I probably have my sword out just in case some bullshit tries to jump out of the bog.
Sure. So, I mean, you guys can,
Surprise!
from
Welcome
where
to
you
Black.
are, little old lady.
Yeah.
Welcome
that.
home.
Little old lady jumping out a bog. Yeah, I'm gonna stab it.
Yeah, probably. So, I mean, from where you are, you have options. You could either carry on sort of in the bog, in the water, and kind of make your way under these sort of walkways and that, or you could climb onto one of the walkways and use those to get across. Excuse me.
Yeah, I vote for the second
I
option.
mean, that's probably your main kind of options.
Yeah, I vote.
Yeah,
less
let's do it.
bog.
Cool. You guys climb onto one of the first sort of causeways that that you come across, and it takes a little bit of getting up to help each other up because they're a bit slimy, but they feel okay. But you can see that there are pieces here and there that have fallen through, so it's a little rickety, but it's clearly still in use because it's not overgrown. Yeah, and they all head towards this large stump. Roll me a perception roll, all three of you, please.
Okie
He's good.
Merrick,
He's 22.
Woo!
I'm back.
blimey. Asta,
8.
Mona,
14.
Theo, you know that's not a wisdom saving throw, right?
Oh. Oh, very funny, Chris.
oh, the shade. Nerwin, you notice, possibly because you're sort of, paying attention to things having been sand trapped a little, but you notice in the distance, and at the top of the stump actually is so tall that it kind of almost sticks out of the fog bank that's hanging over the marsh, and you can see on the top of the stump, it looks like there are some kind of lights, flickering lights that would be typical of a lantern or fire or something like that. So you can see that there is something like that on the top of the stump where all the causeways lead to.
I'll point this out to my friends.
Cool. So are you guys going to go towards that?
I guess so.
Yeah, if computer games have told me anything, go towards it.
Nothing bad could happen to this, surely.
No.
So are you just kind of walking through, or are you stealthing?
Cautiously walking, but I don't think we're stealthy. I don't think we have
Half stealth.
Half stealth. Yeah. Can we stealth at disadvantage? No.
Stealth adjacent.
Stealth adjacent.
Stealth adjacent.
No, I don't think we're hiding at the moment. Are we?
No, I don't think
Nah.
so.
Doesn't seem too nefarious.
We are so opposite.
As she dies immediately.
So we're so opposite to most parties. They're like, yeah, no, we'll go for stealth. We're like, yeah, we're fine.
I'm 7 foot tall.
Right, I've got a big
a good
sword.
point.
We'll be fine.
Cool. So you guys start making your way across these the causeways as they kind of crisscross, and they are a little tricky here and there. So I'm going to ask you guys to roll a d8 for me, each of you, please.
Oh, here comes the sand.
Here comes the sun.
Nergwin, a 4. Asta,
1.
Mona,
A 6.
I mean, by these tables, it's not necessary that one is a bad thing.
Nope.
1 means I tripped over some pie.
It's a bad thing and a good thing all at once.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
The
still good.
swamp giveth and the swamp taketh away.
It's still good.
The good thing is you land next to the pie and eat it. No.
Yeah.
With all of those rolls, you do in fact manage to navigate some of the trickier bits of the causeway as you're on the first kind of stretch. And they all kind of seem to interweave, but like I say, a bit like a webbing of these, which lead to different jetties that you can see in the distance. Nergrin, actually, Asta, your passive perception is highest. As you get a little bit, is it the same?
It's the same.
Oh, it is.
Mine's,
Okay,
mine's
Yeah, but I'm
14.
taller up.
Yeah, so
that's true.
You're down there.
Although,
if it's low to the
Asta,
ground, I get advantage. If
I was going to say, Nergrin would actually have, a good one on this one because it's audible. But you guys both, as you get a little closer, you guys both hear singing. And with a rather sort of painful prod of a memory, it does sound remarkably similar to the singing you heard before you encountered the brigands.
Oh, look, I packed the right spell.
Yep. Light them up.
No, I'm not going to do that, but I might try and put some of them to sleep.
Maybe we can just avoid them this time.
I mean, you have to go, from what you can tell, you have to go kind of in that direction, but you could potentially try and go around the outside of the stump rather than going up onto it where they looks like they are.
Sorry, Wayne, does it sound like they're encamped on the stump or they're just travelling near here at the same time as we are?
No, it's definitely coming from where the lights are. So you would assume it sounds like they're either camped there or waiting there or whatever, but it definitely sounds like that's where it's coming from, the same place that you saw those lights in the distance.
So, I mean, I want to avoid trouble, and I think that we are right in doing so, but I don't like the fact that they keep stealing things from other people that need them, like their memories.
I know, but we don't know how many there are.
True.
We don't know how many more we will encounter.
True.
I'm leaning towards an avoidance of this group.
And it's purely based on the idea that I want to steal another one of those gourds and let the memories go.
I know, and who knows, we may well get to that.
I mean, I get the feeling that once we sort out, the bigger picture, that that they'll stop being such a problem.
Yeah.
But you mean once Sabine is back in command, they'll have to behave themselves?
Yeah, well,
or maybe we'll
didn't
just
Jingle
be
Jangle say that their activities had increased of late?
as the lawlessness spreads, and maybe
Right.
when we're in a better standing, like literally, we're able to stand easier, then maybe it'll be easier for us to serve some justice. But right now, I don't think it's wise.
You're all appealing to my wiser self, and I like that. I think you make very good points, and I don't want to pick a fight that we don't need. So very well, let's sneak past for now.
Oh dear.
Well, we can certainly try.
That's the operative word here.
Right. So I would like the three of you then please to roll a stealth roll for me.
Oh boy.
Isn't that good, Hammer?
Not bad.
So, Mona.
Yeah, hashtag temporarily blessed, don't forget.
Hashtag blessed day.
Fucking good God.
Hey, it's an extra one.
Stop spying on me, Theo.
Oh, we could all tell a one when it lands.
Just hits different.
What did you get, Mona? A 2.
Total?
With the extra 1.
I have -1 and disadvantage on my stealth.
you should have just kept it
Oh,
less. You should have just
shit,
kept it
yeah.
less.
I didn't want it to be a complete 1.
Well, now it's not. Morgan, what did you roll?
I got a 23, and I don't know these two.
That's
Hey, you haven't heard what I rolled yet. Rude. I got a 17.
Hey,
Hey!
that's awesome.
Okay. So, I mean...
So how do I die?
Is this a group check?
It is a group check.
Oh,
Okay.
thank God.
Oh, hail Satan.
So, thankfully, you literally are all average at sneaking. So you start to sneak along, and you're keeping as quiet as you can be, keeping low to the ground. And thankfully, because of the...
Clank.
Dragging my sword without realizing.
Yeah, see,
I mean, that is true. Going from
Rooney
1 to
Runes.
2 is double.
Yeah, really,
That's
just said, look at it
100%
this way,
increase.
going from 1 to 2 is doubling your score. I mean, that's impressive.
I feel like that is very truthfully. Yeah, it's like you're twice as efficient as you would have been.
Yeah.
Oh,
What a
right, that's why I use
remarkably,
my hashtag template.
what a remarkably optimistic way of looking at things. And 100% increase, indeed. So, you guys stealth forward. And you manage to successfully navigate the rickety causeway as you walk along. You are not through it yet, and you're not even at the stump yet. Because of the way that these crisscross, you have to move very carefully and very quietly, and you still have a good 100 or feet so before you get to the stump. So I am going to ask you all, as you cross the causeway, to roll another stealth roll.
Could we do something to like soundproof Mona's armor?
I'm just going to stop in the middle.
I don't know, can you?
Stuff Neragwin down the shirt or something.
Yep. Can I use all my many bits of knitwear to like wrap my armor or something?
Oh, are you going to do that thing where people who are wearing cardigans, it suddenly got a blowy, you're just going to pull it over your
Oh
shirt?
yeah, I'll be proper teacher style cover my cardigan.
You know what? I will let you roll with advantage for that.
So it's just not disadvantage now.
Correct.
Knitwear saves the day again. And now I get a fucking critical fail. Sorry, I'm very sweary today.
It is fine.
It's
What did you get,
after
Mona?
Watershed, so we're okay.
I got a 6.
Hey, that's better than last time.
That's better.
Yeah. Asta?
I got 17 again.
Damn.
Neragwin?
I got 24.
Oh, thank God you guys are
Blimey.
good at it.
Everybody went up. So you guys managed to navigate the next kind of 30 feet or so. Again, stepping past anything that looks a bit too raggedy. And you, so far, you can still hear the music. As you got closer, the rest of you can hear the singing. Definitely sounds like those brigands, but so far it seems to all be staying on top of the stump.
Do we get
and
any idea of like how many of them there are?
There are, I mean,
Does
it's
it sound like
definitely...
loads?
Well, it definitely sounds like the people singing, at least, definitely sounds like it's, you know, more than a couple of voices. You would say like maybe 5, 6 people. It's not just 1 or 2 voices, but it's hard to tell from here whether it's 5 or 10.
Are they still singing about that scarf dickhead?
They are, in fact, still singing about the scarf dickhead, and you can hear that there are little bits of embellishment in between, and there are people kind of doing lots of hey and woohoos and sort of proper rousing kind of songs.
If anyone has played Black and White too, it reminds me of that bit where all the sea shanty lads are doing that terrible song.
But they are indeed still singing about Agden Longscarf, and you hear the name mentioned several times as you listen. as you guys kind of pause for a minute to figure out which way to go, you have a choice between going left around the stump or right around the stump. The causeways kind of crisscross all over. Neither from where you are standing looks particularly easier from a sight point of view. So you just need to decide whether you're going left or right.
I vote left.
I second left.
Oh, I was going to say right, but I guess I'm outnumbered, so that's fine.
Oh.
With the joy of having a party of 3. It's an easy
Woo!
thing.
It's always a democracy, unless we all vote the same way and it's wrong. Then we've got no one to blame.
Oh yeah.
Then it seems like a real democracy. So you're going left, yes?
Yes.
Cool.
Asta's going right now. Okay.
Oh Jesus, no!
I mean, and they say that I'm contrary.
So you guys are getting close to the bottom of the stump now, and you're slowly treading these boards, literally, as you head round. And as you get round to the closest part of the stump, you hear some voices a little closer to the edge of the stump. And you kind of all freeze as 2 Harengon walk towards the end of the stump and stand there. And they are literally just standing, looking out, drink in hand. Both are armed, and they're kind of looking out into the mist. Because of where they are, there is a bit of a fog bank between you and them sight-wise, but they are above you, and if it cleared, would be able to see you. So let's see whether they see you or not. So both of them seem pretty just wrapped up in what they're doing, the singing and the carousing. And after a couple of seconds of kind of breathless pause, you hear somebody call one of them, and the both of them turn and head back towards the fireplace. As you let out a sigh of relief, Esther and Nerwin, you have this really odd feeling that you guys are not alone. And before you can say anything, from right behind you, a hooded figure just says, "Well, that was close."
Oh my god.
Are you doing that like arched back thing where you're all up?
Yeah.
Don't go off the edge of the board.
As Nergwin's hackles rise and he arches his back and hisses, and Asta kind of gasps in surprise, the figure behind you throws off their cloak and hood, and you see standing beside you a Harengon who bursts into laughter and throws his bright blue scarf over his shoulder.
Ah!
And
Scarf dickhead!
dashes past you onto one of the causeways, leaping 10 foot and landing on the causeway, and brandishes from underneath his cloak what you first think is a rapier, and then you notice is in fact a branding iron.
A carrot!
A carrot. He has a sharpened carrot. No, a branding iron.
That's horrifying.
And as he throws this off, you hear other voices and bagpipes start playing. And
what is happening?
in the distance from where you just came, you see 2 small boats, 2 skiffs, coming out of the fog with other brigands in it.
Oh no.
You should have stayed in the tavern. We should have stayed in the tavern.
So, if you guys want to have a look at Roll20.
No.
No, I don't.
No, because that means that it's a tactical thing.
no.
So, this is the causeway that you guys were navigating, and the skiffs with people on them. Let's see if I can do this. Have appeared. Da-da-da.
This is a very
So-
pretty place to have our graves.
To have our graves, a watery grave.
Mm.
So, let's drag you guys onto the map. So, you wanted to meet the, what did you call him, Mona?
Scarf dickhead.
Scarf dickhead.
That's his Christian name.
Scarf Dickhead, yes. Welcome to your first encounter with Agden Longscarf, or otherwise known as the Scarf Dickhead.
If I blow this one up, do they all stop?
I have a feeling we're about to find out.
Oh, please blow it up.
Do you want us to drag ourselves onto here, Wayne?
I think I have just done that.
I can
Just
see.
wanna make
Yeah,
sure
I see
You
me.
guys can
Okay.
actually move yourselves, that's all.
Yeah.
I cannot move me.
I can move me.
I can move me, but I think Wayne's still figuring it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Bear with.
No
Bear
worries.
with. It's because I'm on the wrong layer.
Can we not just leg it?
I mean, it's an
I
option.
mean, we can.
Running away
You
is
can
always an
try.
option.
Sorry, guys. Let me just get these
Okay.
sorted.
No probs.
Okay, Mona, can you move yourself?
I could have made it go. Let me double check. Yep.
Cool. Neragrin, can you?
I can indeed, yes.
And Asta?
No.
No. Okay, bear with. Ta-da! There we go. That should do it. Can you check now?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So I need you all to run initiative, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
My token.
Both of you making the same noise.
No, I love that. Oh.
For some reason,
I'll
I
join
just
in with
can't
that.
roll high in initiative.
Ooh,
Doesn't matter what character I am.
Mona.
Wow.
Huh?
Mona.
What?
24?
I didn't roll.
Did you not?
No, where did that come up?
Where are you seeing this?
I rolled a real dice.
On a
Hang
turn
on.
order.
It may have been there from last time.
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys-
no, that wasn't me.
so-
I just rolled a bloody 4,
You
so...
just deleted me and I'd rolled a 23.
That's all right. We shall put you on as 23 then. If I can add
Yeah,
you.
Mona has a -1 to her initiative. It's impossible for her to get a 24.
Cool. So, what did you roll, Asta?
6.
A 6. Let's see if I can put you on. Asta, and that was a 6, yeah. Come on. Okay, Mona, what did you get?
4.
Oh, I got a 4.
I feel like
4.
Scarf Dickhead...
And
who
Neragrin,
just-
you got a 23, correct?
I did, yes.
I think Scarf Dickhead, who just yeeted himself 10 feet, is going to be more dexterous than me. A -1.
Could be.
I think I can. Oh no, I can.
Oh, that was an evil giggle. Right, so let us see what we can do. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to get the initiative order sorted.
No, it's fine. Absolutely fine.
There
Roll
we
that
go.
For you.
There we go. Right, well, Neragrin, you are up.
Awesome. Well, I think I will. So Nerigwin looks at the boats approaching and the one that's slightly closer to us, and his eyes flash that blue and then fog over like a moon behind clouds, and a stream of between the smoke, like sparkly smoke kind of wafts between them. And the middle one here, I will cast. Sorry, I'm on the wrong level. This one here, I will cast Sleep on. So
Okay.
I need to roll 5d8, and if I get over his hit points, he falls asleep, and it goes on to one of the ones next to. That is 7, 14, 17, 23 in total.
Cool. So he has... so that gets over his hit points.
So he's asleep.
Okay. Let us put a sleepy sign on him somehow. Anything over that goes to the next person?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Let me just move menus and stuff so I can see things. Right. Where's the sleep thing? There we go. Okay, so the next one is... Which one?
So I had 23 in total, so one of either of the other two beside him. Go left.
Okay. So the one on the left, let's just check. So yes, that one also falls asleep.
And then anything left over goes onto the one, and if I beat him, he also falls asleep. And then I think
you do not beat him.
That's fair enough. He either now is on his own, or he has to waste his action waking one of his friends up.
Cool. So they were actually still waiting to see what happens with their famous boss. So they are caught by surprise and they fall asleep. And the one that is left awake is slightly panicky now that that has happened.
Between the stifled yawns. And I think
that it?
No, Narrowgreen will. I think he's going to move actually as he goes past. He goes, see, I didn't kill them. Growth.
Growth.
5. Hang on. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Up to there. Just spread us out a little bit, just in case anyone's got something crazy and destructive.
Cool. Fair enough. Next is Agden Longscarf. Let's see. He is going to move. He's going to jump across these floating pieces that are here. And land in front of Mona. And he's going to swing his branding iron and attempt to poke it at Mona.
Ah!
Oh. Okay. He rolled a natural 1. So
that could have gone either way.
I know. So he lands and he looks at you, and with this kind of real cocky smile, he kind of spins his branding iron and stabs it at you with complete confidence that he's going to hit. And because of your knitwear, he just kind of brushes the knitwear out the way as you sidestep him, and he very nearly kind of tumbles forward and has to kind of gather his footing and immediately looks really embarrassed by the whole thing.
Do you give him a mum look?
Absolutely. Just like, I knew you weren't going to succeed in that, but I was going to let you do it anyway. To learn you a lesson.
However, what he does do is he moves very quickly and kind of like almost sort of dances around you, faster than you've ever seen anybody move. And he moves 5 feet away from you, and kind of just looks at you and gives you a little wink.
Ugh.
and then turns to face Asta, whose turn it is.
So do I not get an attack of opportunity then?
No.
It's too speedy.
He's got flyby, basically.
Drive by.
Drive by in this, hop by.
Right, then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh.
Cool.
And I'm going to move up and try and smack him, I guess.
Cool.
I feel like Asta's Shillelagh is about the equivalent of Ford's Eldritch Blast at this point.
Blast!
Shillelagh.
Never mind, because that was a 7.
Okay. No. He is so quick. He dodges before you even started the swing, and it literally just catches air. There is nothing to it. Mona, it is your turn.
Okay. We're doing flanking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna go ahead and shift myself over there and give a swing with my great sword. See if I can get him. Mm, 12.
12 does not hit.
No, I didn't think
Again, you swing at him, and he moves so quickly that by the time you've actually managed to move your greatsword through the air, he's not even in the same place anymore.
God
It'll
damn
bring
it.
us, unless there's something else you want to do, it'll bring us back around to Nerevin.
so. No, because my sword's double hand sword, so I can't just punch him. No, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Not to
Evergreen.
cause problems for ourselves, but you haven't done anything with the rest of his crew, did you?
Yeah. No, they are just waiting.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell teacher about the homework.
I know, I'm just trying to... I know how annoyed I get when I don't... Yeah, anyway. Okay. See, you're all bunched up now, so I can't do anything that's going to sort of really harm any of you. I think I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to toll the dead on this character. Can I have a wisdom saving throw from him, please?
Sure. Wisdom.
I think I can still hit him. Oh yeah, he's within range.
Wisdom saving throw. Which is... What is it? That's an 18.
Okay, he succeeds. Nothing happens.
Cool.
That same rumbling purr, but no effect.
And do you have anything else you want to do?
Yes, I think I am going to move. Sorry.
Cool. Where are you going to move to?
Away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 over here to where he was originally. Sorry,
Cool.
wrong button.
That's all right. Yeah, so that is fine. You move over there. He, for his round, he is going to try, well, he is going to move away from you guys. He's going to kind of extricate himself. And again, with speed that you are just not used to seeing, he is going to move. He's going to move to over here next to Neragwin. And Neragwin, as he moves, you can see that every move he makes, he kind of brandishes his scarf and kind of flings it almost like a cape, making sure that it kind of brushes past people's faces. And but you also notice that it is very firmly attached to him. It doesn't seem like it blows away or anything. And he is clearly very proud of his scarf. Cool. He is then. Yeah, he is. He's going to move back to Neragwin, and he is going to attempt to poke you with a branding iron.
I hate these weapons of branding iron. How is it hot?
Magic, yo.
Ugh.
That's a 10 to hit.
Will not hit. I think I will just look at him as he comes down, and I should just sidestep as quick as a cat can.
As soon as you do that, he kind of looks at you almost bemused by the whole thing and just goes, "Ha! A game!" And he flicks his scarf over his shoulder. And
I want Mona to grab that scarf.
It's mine. I'll add it to my knitwear collection.
Cool. That's his go, and it's Asta's go.
The surroundings, is it water or is it like muddy goo?
It's probably about 3 feet of water above the mud.
Right.
Excuse me.
But there is, it's definitely that kind of same sticky mud that you've moved through. But as the water has risen, you know how it gets that kind of level of water above the mud. Still unpleasant and muddy, though.
Okay, good to know. For now, I will... sorry, let me just check. I can.
That's okay. Mona, you are up after Asta.
I will cast Entangle. I'd like to cast it sort of here so that it's not going to get the space that Neragwin's in.
Okay.
Because it's a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
So
how does Entangle work?
To make a strength saving throw.
Interesting. Let's see what he does. Strength saving throw. Oh, natural 20, I am afraid.
Well, the area is difficult terrain.
Okay, let's see. So it's that area there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that is difficult terrain. Is that
I think that's all I can do, to be honest. Am I going to move? I think I'm happy there for now.
Okay. Mona, that would make it your turn.
Is the difficult terrain stuff you just cast still active? Does it still, if you go in it, would it grab you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think in that case, I'm gonna cast Command and try and convince him to go in it.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay. What does he have to roll for Command?
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, let's see. 16?
Oh, damn it. Yeah, that saves.
Stop rolling
Sorry.
so well, Wayne. We're only little.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only 2.
And I'm doing it digitally so I can see it too. Okay, that brings it back to Neragwin. Sorry, Mona, unless there's anything you want to do with your bonus action.
I might move a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
What's my move? 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna come over here just to the edge of this rickety bit.
Sure.
And then that'll be my go.
Okay, Neragwin, you are up.
Nerogrin looks up at this Herringon and kind of just blinks slowly in that sort of way that I'm just completely unimpressed with you, and then starts to glow with this soft starlight that spreads out in a 30-foot radius.
Yes.
And I will cast... I will activate my divine power, which is Twilight Sanctuary. I have a 30-foot radius around me, which is filled with dim light. It moves with me and lasts 1 minute, and anyone who ends their turn in that circle, I can grant one of the two following features. I can either give them temporary hit points, or I can end effects such as charmed or frightened on them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stay put, but I will give myself temporary hit points.
Smart.
Giving myself 7 hit points.
Nice.
Cool. Okay.
Buffer room.
So the temporary hit points don't stack, but if you lose them and you're in the sphere, I can replace them.
That's cool.
Cool.
And when
So
you replace them, is that a free action for you to do?
It's at the end of if you're in my circle at the end of each turn.
Okay, cool.
Your turn, then I can do something like that. So
Nice.
I'll have to remember it.
Does it have any impact on him currently?
No, he's probably just trying to work out why I'm not engaging him at this moment. I'm just glowing.
Is
yes.
Spraying or peeing on something a free action?
No, I would count that as an action.
Dang it!
Also, no, yuck.
Is that,
Oh,
There we go. So that's
did you say a 30-foot radius?
30-foot radius.
Wow, that's huge.
Sorry, oh, okay, you did it.
Yes, wow.
Also, there's dim light in that space all the time as well, so people can see.
Okay, cool.
And it's just look at him.
Fair enough. He is going to move past you, Nerogwyn. You will get an attack of opportunity.
yes. Swipe that nerd.
Yeah, I will lash out at his shanks as he tries to move away.
Mm-hmm.
Bite his ankles.
Yep.
Yeah, get him.
I'm not the most combat effective character here.
Are
I
any
don't know
of
about
us?
that.
I rolled a 15.
I know I'm not.
Though.
15 does not hit, I'm afraid.
He's too speedy.
I think it is just literally.
Yeah, meant to do that.
And he is going to run around here past Mona to this side of Mona. And he is going to, as he gets close to you, he pulls out the branding iron again and he says, "I'm going to get you." And he tries again with his branding iron.
No, I don't like you.
Wish I was playing a
my
fighter
God.
with disarm at the moment.
Which is a 10 to hit.
No.
No.
Sorry about it.
It's the same as last week.
I know.
Oh no, we're going to be here until 2 in the morning.
No, we won't. So he, having missed that time, he's starting to look a little annoyed, and he just goes "dang" as he misses you. Mona flips him the bird.
Sorry, my Miriam's coming out again. Sorry.
That's fine. And he gestures at the guys in the boat to come and help him. Over the last couple of rounds, they have been woken up, I am afraid, Christopher.
Well,
Nerogwyn.
well, I mean, he could have woken one of them up because they've only had one action.
That is true.
Is that sorry?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I will remove the sleep from that one. So he, this one shakes his buddy, and they leap out the skiff, and onto the side here, and they both move up towards where the fighting is. And for the first time, they are kind of entering combat, and they move up to you, brandishing weapons, and there is a momentary pause, and they both kind of stop dead in their tracks and start backing away. And Agden looks down and says, "Well, get him!" And the one literally starts scrambling and runs down past the end of the causeway this way. The other one jumps into the boat and hides under one of the seats there. And you are, as soon as they get close enough, you guys notice that they are in fact two of the brigands who were with you when Neragwin fireballed one of the
Knew it! Your reputation precedes you.
The guy in the front of the boat who is still asleep is lying there. This one is hiding under the seat. These guys are too far away at the moment to get to you in battle, but Agden has gestured to them to join. Cool. So it is Asta's turn.
Okay. Asta is going to wild shape and turn into a constrictor snake.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I do not have a constrictor snake available.
I do.
What?
So you will have to pretend that you're
I'm a snake.
a snake.
The Foley
Cool.
work was so real.
Amazing. Wow, that's pretty cool. I think you can, as soon as you do that, you can see that Agden catches a glance of that, and there is a definite moment of like, oh, wow, okay, that's scary. And it's the first time you've seen him look less than kind of cocky since this fight starts. Anything else, Esther?
I can move,
was
but I
about-
can't do anything because I use my action to wild shape, right? So I can't then.
Correct.
Bonus action.
Bonus action to wild shape.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. You're right. I know how to play.
I
Druid.
was literally about to make the joke that very kindly just popped up in the chat. Asper. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well done.
Right.
Get it.
Well, I will slither my way downtown, and
Slither my way downtown, wiggling fast.
Oh my god.
I'm going to attempt to constrict
Okay.
him, which is a melee attack. An 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
What even? 18?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna in his ear then.
18 doesn't hit.
No.
Blimey. Right, okay.
Boa knows she better.
Wait,
don't.
did you know that we're level 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He as soon as you get close to him, you can see that his kind of instincts are kicking in a little, and he kind of tries to pull away from you, and he gathers his scarf, like he literally pulls it towards him, like for comfort, like protecting himself and his scarf.
Someone set fire to that scarf.
Yeah.
And then
please.
he kind of gathers himself a little bit, but you can see there is genuine fear.
Yeah, I think you found his phobia.
Cool, Mona, it is your turn. Actually, on that note, I think we will leave it with Asta's wild shape and pick up in the middle of combat next time.
Oh my
because I know
God,
people
okay.
have things to do and real jobs and shit like that.
And this dude's right up in my grill, so
Yeah, and
Your
he's
Bear Grylls.
in your Bear Grylls.
I'm leaving.
So yes, while I don't like to leave things in the middle of a fight, I think we shall tonight just to give everybody a decent night.
That's a very good
recovery.
point. I didn't even clock that it was 10 o'clock. So
No.
No, I know, but we said we'd try and keep to time, so we will.
the snake puns are strong in the
I know
chat
this
right
is amazing.
now.
I fucking love this.
Note to self: I am a snake.
I have a load of tokens, actually. I will pass them to Wayne.
Yeah, I have tokens. I had just completely forgotten that you
Need
have
a snack token.
wild shape. Anyway, so we shall leave it there, just to give everybody a break this evening, and we will pick it up with you fighting Egdon Longscarf, the Brigand Prince of Brismere, in 2 weeks' time.
See, I didn't blow him up. Aren't you proud of me?
Yet.
No, we want you to
No,
blow
I
him
think
up.
it was. Yeah, why didn't you blow him
I
up?
mean, I know you have the
Why
spell.
Yeah.
Blow up the scarf.
Anyway.
Does Snake still have the beard? Absolutely, yes.
A snake with mutton chops.
But it's like a
Totally.
little scaly beard.
I like
It looks like he's just shedding his skin.
Ew.
No, why do you always got to try and make everything gross?
Because you said it was a scaly beard. That sounds pretty gross, to be honest.
Maybe it's like Rock's hair, but like as a beard.
But it's,
Yeah.
because Rocker's got a bit of a goatee beard thing
A
going
bit of a
on.
situation.
He
Yeah.
does, yeah. It's not scaly.
A great big bushy beard snake.
Beard snake.
I mean, the amount of time talking about, reptile facial hair might make us scalies, but...
Oh, God, don't even go there, please. We
We're
are
all
not
scaly
starting...
now, says Rooney.
We are
Oh,
not starting
no!
the Scalies furry conversation on this. Right, so moving on and trying to regain
snakes
some
owners,
composure.
thanks.
Thank you to my wonderful cast for this evening. I know it's been hard going through the mud, but we shall pick it up next week with your fight against this brigand. Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight, as always. I honestly can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being in the chat. You guys are amazing, and we will not be using the hashtag some other scalies.
SOS.
Okay, we might use it, but only a couple of times. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the chat for much amusement and for making the stream so wonderful. Thank you for following us, and please tell people about us if you would like to be so kind as to do that. It would mean the world to us. And with that, I shall end by asking my fantastic cast to tell us where you can find them and what they're doing. Let's start with the amazing Theo.
Oh no, I hate it when you start with me.
Who are you? Where can we find you?
Who am I? Good question.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm Theo. You can find me on my website, which is theoblueillustration.com.
Correct.
There's links to all my other social
Love
media
you,
there.
Theo.
I like to go after other people because then they set the format and then I just have to follow it. This is what
Fill in the
happens
form.
when you let me go first. Anyway, you can also find me if you would like.
You would
in
like,
real
trust me.
life. Not this weekend, but next weekend. That sure has come up quick. And I am absolutely prepared, as always. It's MegaCon, which is in Birmingham at the NEC, the 26th and 27th of this month. So, and I will be there. So if you want to come see me and chat and buy some stuff, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, do it.
Totally do it.
Do
What
Do
else
it,
it,
are you
do it,
doing?
coward.
Do it.
I'm not wearing
Do
it
it,
today, but
coward. Go
yeah.
see Theo.
Yeah, Theo makes amazing t-shirts, and they are a beautiful and wonderful art, and you really should go and buy lots of things from them.
And very cute stickers, of which I have on all my stuff.
Yeah. And Theo's pretty cute in real life too, just by the way.
Very
Anyway, and with that, I shall move on to the glorious Charlie.
Thank God.
Oh, Theo.
No, I don't know why I bother sometimes.
I am Charlie. I am that one. My website is charlievince.com. That's got all my socials and shop and portfolio and blog and newsletter and all that stuff on it. Do subscribe to my newsletter because I send out cheeky discount codes and free stuff sometimes, and just chaotic nonsense in general, and always a cute picture of my dog at the end as well. Yeah.
They're only cute.
And
It's true.
always cute pictures of her. She's been here the whole time, fast asleep. And thank you everyone for coming tonight. You're all complete champions. Thank you, Wayne, for being an amazing DM. This is so much fun. This is so chaotic. It's so much fun. And hi, Mum. Love you, Mum.
Hi, Charlie's
Charlie's
mum.
And last but not least, Chris.
Hi, hello. You can find me on the internet at Chris Mepham Art on the Instagram and at Chris Mepham RPG on Twitter, where I tend to talk a lot about RPG in general, and big up other groups, including our wonderful friends Wicked Game and Dice and a Slice, who have been in the chat on and off with us through this whole campaign, and they are absolutely wonderful people. And if you are not following them, you really should. I'll pop their details in the chat. Also, I still have a commission slot or two open for people. If you are interested, if you like these character what is direction? Character art in here. It was all done by me, and if you would like a piece of your own, I have a pinned tweet and details in my Instagram, and it would be lovely to create your characters with you. I would absolutely adore that. We are back on Sunday for Some Other Heroes, which should be very interesting at 3 p.m. All four of us continuing the ongoing adventures of our homebrew game. Very different energy, just as chaotic.
I'm not sure it's just as chaotic.
Is that a challenge?
No. Thank you, Chris. My name is Wayne Fick. You can find me on the socials as WayneFick01. So please do give me a follow if you fancy. Just thank you again to everybody. And if you don't have amazing supporters and friends like we have, then find yourself some, because they're really pretty cool.
You can borrow us or borrow our friends and supporters.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that.
Yeah, give us a shout and we will big you up. We're good.
Yeah, do please let us know if you do your own streams, or if you would like us to profile your art or anything on our stream video. We are always happy to do that and to support the community in general.
So long as you're kind and inclusive and fun, we will shout about you.
Correct. And with that, as Chris said, we'll be back on Sunday, and we will be back in 2 weeks with Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So I shall leave you to your what's left of your evening while we go and try and figure out what the hell just happened.
Before we disappear, I forgot to say, if you don't follow Wicked Game, they are streaming their brand new school-based story tomorrow evening on their channel. We thoroughly recommend it. The first episode was a completely different lot of wholesome chaos, and they were amazing.
And amazing characters, honestly. Give it a watch, please. We shall leave you, and have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week, and we shall see you soon. Take care of yourselves.
Love you all.
Bye. Bye.